Productions has a somewhat looser feel to it.
Yeah, it's got an almost improvisational tone.
Hey everybody, good Friday morning. Good to see you here. How's everyone doing in the chat? Let's get some hello to everybody. 20 points. Tag a friend in the chat. Say hello. Say good morning. Say, I just like it. Let's see here. Who we got in the chat? Philip, Henry, Brad, Megan, Mila, Ryan, Aaron, Chow, Brennan, everybody. Say hello. Talk to some people in the chat. Jonathan, good to see you. Sarah, hey, Sarah, good to see you. Mini term, right? Right, Sarah? Make Sarah mod here. Sarah, good to see you. Think Dennis, awesome to see you, Dennis. Megan, great to see you. Everybody, good to see you, everybody. Tag some people, get some people woken up here on this Friday morning. Oh my gosh, you know what I need? We're gonna do it. Wait, we're gonna do it. I'll be right back. Wait, I can't reappear. There we go. I'll be right back. I didn't disappear now. Coconut Red Bull. I meant to hit the Zelda button. I was going to play the Zelda button back into this. So we are back. We got some Coconut Red Bull. People want some Crab Rave to wake up. You got it. We got Crab Rave. Oh, I can hit the Crab Rave button. I can't hear Crab Rave when it's playing. You can hear Coconut Red Bull. It's totally Coconut Red Bull. Yep. Let's do it. You guys are probably hearing me drink. Totally random. Totally random. Corvin, 20 points right there. You guys are cracking me up. Okay, we're woken up. Yeah, watermelon's all right. It's like, there's like 10 flavors of Red Bull, and watermelon might be like 5th or 4th. It's good, but it's not the blue flavor. And regular Red Bull's up there. Like regular Red Bull, blue Red Bull, and then coconut's number one. It's coconut berry. You guys gotta try it out. Cranberry. That's what my fiance likes. Cranberry's like her favorite. So I actually like Beach Breeze, the light blue one. That's a really good one. That might be like number 2 or 3 for me. Like that's way up there. I always forget about that one. Yeah, watermelon water is not the best either. Like watermelon water, I don't know, I'm 50-50 on it. And I like watermelon a lot, so I feel bad. I feel like I'm talking down to watermelon. So we'll get started here. Points should be working. Let me see if I got Streamlabs going on. Streamlabs, where you at? We know Streamlabs takes its time to wake up. Streamlabs might be still getting its coffee right now. Look at Cloudbot. Cloudbot says it's on. So if we don't see points now, we should see it in the next 5-10 minutes here. Original's always awesome. You got it. So one of the big things, and I want to mention this, be coming to class, because I'm going to do a lot of the activities in class. So we have activities that we'll start doing. I'm going to do one today. It's going to be in the video. So if you're doing, and don't post, whatever you do, don't do this. So, really good job using who's been using, Streamlabs is awake. It's so weird. Why doesn't it start the start? But once again, Discord has been really awesome. Brad posted recently asking people when they wanted to meet up to maybe go over the assignment. And so, new messages on admin channel. What's going on there? I don't know. So, Brad posted in 320 asking people when they want to meet up. So if people want to post in the channel and talk to people, I've got the Snorlax figure on me. So, because Pokemon Go, why not? So, in the Discord, and if you haven't, will you be dropping by? Yeah, We'll probably drop like a quiz. We will drop some, but they're meant to be easy. So you look at this right here. We could actually start class with the quiz today. We could knock it out. Who wants to start class with the quiz and get 100 on it? We'll put the due date. Let's go change this. Let's go change the quiz. Let's put a due date on it of Saturday, which I know is tomorrow, but we're gonna do it. We're just gonna knock it out. Let's knock it out. I like that. Let's just like knock out this quiz. So the quizzes are meant to be more of attendance. Don't post the answers to quizzes. Like that is not good. Don't do that. Don't go and like here's the answers. Don't do that. Let's put the quiz due on Saturday night. But if you are in class, it's meant to be that you get them done. So this is another reason. Let's start there with 100. Philip, 20 points right there. I like that. And Brad and Nicole and Corbin and Brennan and Coconut Red Bull. See, I need to have it off stream. Like, up, Coconut Red Bull. Let's do it. Let's get this done. You ready? Okay. So these are not meant to be that hard. They're not meant to be like ruin your life. Stevenson, 20 points right there. I like the let's do it attitude. Good to have a good day. And man, you know what's weird? You feel Griffin 20 points and Emily. You feel the Red Bull. I'm wearing my Tony Stark shirt today. He did a campaign, Robert Downey Jr., who Tony Stark plays Robert Downey Jr. in real life, if you didn't know that. So, Marvel, like, the people Marvel casts, like, oh, man, Ben, you make me so sad there. Like, Marvel has just crushed it. Like, Marvel. Just great job. It's like, what is coming out? Like, there's got to be some more movies coming out. Well, I guess we can't go see movies. I don't know. Yeah, what's really sad to me is that Christopher Nolan did such a good job with Batman, and Marvel is now. I can't wait for Spider-Verse 2 because Marvel's animated movies. Favorite Marvel character? Miles Morales is awesome. Deadpool's awesome. Madrox the Multiple Man's a cool character. Wolverine's great, and Hugh Jackman was like, even though Hugh Jackman's like 6'3" and Wolverine's like 5'3", still Batman. Batman's a favorite DC, yeah, and then of course Robert Downey Jr. totally just like destroyed. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is perfect Deadpool. He was a horrible Green Lantern. Like his Green Lantern was, it was bad. I'm totally Christian Bale. Really great Batman. My favorite Batman is Kevin Conroy. He does the voice of Batman. So if you haven't seen it, go check out the 1990s Batman TV show. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. That was an amazing Batman TV show. But here we go. We had our fun. It's our Friday morning. That's what we do on Friday mornings. Have a little bit of fun. We start class. We get excited. Oh, Michael Keaton, some 90s Batman right there. Michael Keaton did a great job. And I need to see Birdman. And Keaton, and you know who does the voice of Joker in the animated Batman? It's Luke Skywalker. What's his name? Can't think of his name, but Luke Skywalker does it. The guy does Mark Hamill. That's who it is. He does the voice of Joker. He does a lot of voice acting. Really good stuff, Mark Hamill. So he also does the voice of the Trickster and other characters. But 20 points right there, Brennan, Jonathan, knowing some Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker doing the voice of Joker. Very, very, very famous voice. Like his Joker voice is very much known. Yeah, Heath Ledger. You guys are getting me off topic. You know how to get me off topic talking about video games or comics. Yeah, Heath Ledger really did such an amazing job. Oh, I was going to show you. This is what happened when I tried to stream this morning. You know when I said like there's a little bit of a delay? I clicked like the start button on the stream and it was like live streaming's not available. And it's done that once or twice to me. And I just have to like wait and like keep like reloading the page. And I was like, it's going to work. And I was like, okay, hopefully it doesn't take more. And then I clicked it like 4 times and it worked. But I was like, really? Really? You don't want to stream today? You don't want to do that? So I was like, I'll take a picture to show them. Just so they're not like, he was late. He didn't have his Red Bull yet. I mean, yes, that's true, but. Okay. So let's do this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, so many lines. Like him saying he's an agent of chaos. Like when Harvey gives him the gun, like he hands Harvey the gun, and it's like heads you die. He's like heads you die, tails you live, and Joker's like oof. His almost kicked off stream. I don't know why you'd be kicked off, Sylvia. Oh no. What? Maybe email me about this. We'll see what's happening, but I don't think that's common. Has anyone else had that problem that they've been kicked off the stream? So it should just be a YouTube video. Yeah, with the YouTube video, you should just be watching it. Please tell me if there's any issues, because I don't know how that would occur, and we want to make sure that it's not happening to you. YouTube can be weird some days. YouTube can be odd. Let's do this assignment here. You ready? We got our Red Bull. We had our morning. We've had our fun. We were doing some of these cool plots yesterday. Stay on topic, Brian. You can do it. You can stay on topic. Okay. So we go. I was in class for the activity. I will let people, since this is an online class, you can answer yes to this whether or not you were in class. And I think right now these are weighted at like 6 or 8 points. Is everything all right? YouTube won't load? Is everything all right with the stream? Nicole and Sylvia might be having issues. And this might be like a YouTube thing this morning because I had a weird issue. And so I hate to think other people are having weird issues. Everything all right, Nicole? Let's find out real quick. Is it working? Yeah, try lowering the quality. Yeah, no, sorry, everybody. It's might just be individual issues, but we'll try to help out and we'll try to figure out. Okay, we got here. Yeah, lowering the quality can help sometimes, especially with like bit rates and stuff like that. Thank you, Ben. Ben, 20 points. Yep. So, oh, you're on your phone listening? Okay, cool. Listening on your phone right here. You ready? We're about to do 2D for the activity. 2D. Enter input the numeric answer, example 12 for 2D from the activity. So let's go to the activity here. Let's do this. Wait, we don't have this. Here we go, 2D. Let's go down to it. Using either summary or table, find how many times the person purchased something on the internet in the internet columns. Let's clear this out here. Let's run this. What? Do we not have? My mind is going crazy here, everybody. It's one of those mornings. Oh, I know where the file's at. I think we have to read in the file earlier on. The name of the file is data1. No, that's not it. I have it open in the other tab. Here we go. It is Act 1 Customer Trans. Who can .dat? Who can tell me how to read in this file? Oh, there it is right there. It's read.csv, and it's got to be uncommented. So can anyone tell me for 20 points in the chat? This is something you need to know. You need to know why we use this. Why do we use this right here? What does this mean? This is something that made me really sad. I had a student come back to me after this class and they said, I don't know how to get data into R. They said, I don't know. They said, I don't know how to get data into R. And I was like, how do you not know? Because a lot of times we'll do it for you. To load your data, Emily, you're right. Emily, 20 points right there. This loads a CSV file. It reads in a CSV file. But this right here will just read the file. So now the file's just read to the screen. Ben, 20 points. These are comma-separated values. Now what's interesting is this is not a CSV file. This is a .dat file, but you can still use read.csv. So you can use read.csv for .dat. It's just that CSV works. For some reason, CSV format works for reading a .dat. I don't know. I learned that a long time ago and I use it. Now, this is a word right here. This is the name of the file, so it has to be in quotes. That's why we do this right here. Cool, we got it. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look at the data. And one way to look at data, I'm going to show you 2 ways, is str to look at the structure of the data. 3 letters, you get autocomplete, but you don't get the one you want. And here's the structure of the data. But I do have another package on here, and I like showing off other packages. Because in dplyr, we have something called glimpse. And if I go glimpse of cust, here's a glimpse of it. And let's make this super big so everyone can see what's going on. We're going to rerun it down here. And glimpse actually, stop at graphic layer. Glimpse actually takes up the appropriate amount of the screen. So if I readjust my window here and I rerun glimpse, it's still giving me a graphic layer right there. But if I rerun it, it'll take up the right amount of the screen, not overlapping. So we can see the different variables. We have amount, day start, industry, super industry, all these things right here. and we can see different values of them. We can also see the type of the character it is, or the type of, the type of value it is. Like these are characters, which means they're words. These are integers. This is double decimal precision, which means it's numeric. Don't worry, that just means it's a number. So it's just telling you how much memory is allocating, which is double decimal precision, which is 8-bit memory. Thank you, Connor, who swung by to tell us that. And integer is 4-bit memory. So these are stored as 4-bit. These are stored at 8-bit. And 8-bit is going to take up more memory. So that's why it might store something as an integer, because it takes up less memory. So kind of some major computer stuff right there, which I know some of you want to know the higher level stuff and be like, okay, I really want to know what's going on in the background of R. Like, and I don't say it as a joke, like knowing the super detailed stuff can really help out. So we've got to use either summary or table, and we want to look at the internet result of it. Well, cool. Go ahead and finish this code off for me right here while I listen to some Mega Man and drink some Red Bull. Who knows the code? We need help. This is when UT just looks in on the class and they're like, what the heck is this class? What's going on? We got a guy drinking Red Bull listening to Mega Man as his students do work. Yes, they're doing work. Someone's going to put the answer in the chat for us. Somebody's going to put that answer in the chat and get 100 points. Yes, we're going 100 points on this. There's a 100-point cap today. Who's going to get to the cap right away? Boom, Austin. And also Brad. Look at 2 different answers right there. And Casey, we're throwing Casey 50. We're throwing Nicholas 50. We're throwing Dennis 50. Here we go, some 20-pointers. Who's going to get some 20-pointers? We're just tossing away some 20 points. That's how I shoot. That's how I throw basketballs. I'm so bad at basketball. But everyone knows they pick me because I foul people too. Emily 20, Alex 20. Awesome job, everybody right there. Let's just toss this in right here. We got table and we got summary. Everyone answering 20 points after we gave out some mega points and we threw out some points. Thank you, everybody, for participating right there. You guys know how to write these, and it's important just to practice. Like if you're putting in the chat, remember you're getting Streamlab points too. So I throw some bows. So we got table and we got summary. Same thing. Ooh, summary doesn't like it. Summary. You know what we have to do? We have to do this. There you go. Uh-oh. So summary of a character tells you about it being a character. Summary of a factor will give you the factors. Now, if there was NAs, we've explained how there can be NAs and there can be, yeah. But this is the answer right here. It worked for me. Ooh, what happened to mine? Oh, maybe you changed it to a factor earlier on. Maybe I missed that part where it changes to a factor. But, oh. Well, it didn't work for me. So that's got it right there. And here's the answer. That should be the answer. Did I still have the answers open on the other page? I don't know. It should be 146. So let me see. I've got it over here. It was the wrong one. So the answer should be 146. I'm going to check. But once again, I don't want these to be super hard. I want these to be like, if you follow along, if you are in class, you're meant to get hundreds. And I'm going to check the answers, lest I put it wrong. It is 146. Of course it's 146. I'm like, how could it not be 146? So we're already 50% done. And what happened here? Just not found? You got 15551? What code did you run? Are you running? I don't understand how you would get that. Brad, show me the code you got here, because I am completely confused. It's the code you sent me? Change your summary with factor in it. Oh, yeah. So I think, Brad, you're saying you're getting this right here. Yeah. So that is the amount of objects. Yep. I think it was, did Mila just say that? Mila, you're at your 100. Yep. 1551 is the length of the object. So if you evaluate cust right here, cust has a length of 15551. You see it prints out 100 objects. And, oh, well, we need to go cust internet. Not industry, internet. See, you guys realize these things faster than I do sometimes. You're like, wait, see, this is the max print of 1000, and this is 5551. We could change max print. We could go here, and you could go to max print. You could put max print at 2,000, and they could reprint it to the screen. And there we go. There's the 1,551 objects, and we just changed the max print argument. So there's so many cool things you can do. Are you allowed to do this quiz with you? Like, do we have to? You should have the same questions. You can do it with me, and you should have the same questions. Where's the quiz at? It's right here. So here we'll go back to the questions on it. So here's the first question, and you have the same questions right here. So here it is, and this question right here, you should have the answer for is 146. So the answers are in these videos, but if you watch the video later, you'll have to be scrolling through. But if you notice, it's just kind of seeing if you're paying attention, following along, and if you're here, you're going to get 100 for being in class. These quizzes might not be announced. It's just come to class, and you might see a quiz appear, and yeah. I might say, like, tomorrow it looks like we're doing a quiz. You guys can always ask, but, okay, tomorrow's there going to be a quiz? But I want people to come to class and know that we could do quizzes in class. But once again, this one's 146, so I think, yeah, no. It's the same questions. How many values are greater than 90 in 3D? So we want to figure out for 3D, how many values are greater than 90? Can anyone, let's pretend we got a vector x. How could we just figure out if something is greater than 90 in vector x? So in the chat right now, first person 100 points. If we have a vector x, how could we figure out if something is greater than 90 in vector x? So like we have vector x, and we want to figure out if something is greater than 90 in vector x. We could use subset. We could. Well, yeah, everyone wants to use subset. I'll take it. 100 points for you. And then Casey right there. And then we just want to do greater than. And John, we can do that. So people, yeah, and I think I'll try it with subset. I'll do it with subset. I don't usually do it with subset. So Sylvia, 100 points. That's exactly, Sylvia put exactly what I was thinking. So, and then Ben Wright also, Ben 100 points. We can do that. It's not my favorite way, but we can do that. Okay, let's get the code back up here. You guys are on fire this morning. You guys are awesome. Everyone who replied there, 100 points. I'm putting you all the way to 100 already. So everyone done, Emily right there. Did you guys get your Red Bulls? Because you guys are on top. You guys got this. So let's go down here. Wait. Make a vector called y that is sequenced from 8 to this by this. So let's grab these numbers. Let's grab these numbers. Sequence. Put a comma. There we go. There's the sequence. Done. Crabware woke you up. I like that. We're just going to call this x. It says to call it y. I don't care. I'm calling it x. Call whatever you want. My jokes are over. X greater than 90. We're almost done. Well, actually, you know what? We could almost do it this way. Wait, is that really it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that the answer? Go over to my cheat screen where I can look at the answers. Is it really just that? Well, darn. Well, that's no fun if we don't use code to do it. We just look at it. Okay, obviously we know the answer now. We have figured out the answer, but in truth, I wouldn't report it this way if someone wanted to know how many values are greater than 90. Some people gave me some suggestions. This is a logical vector. Let me just save this right here as logical vector. It's important to know that that's just a logical vector, as though this right here is just a logical vector. Does that make sense? What can we do to a logical vector? We can take, we could go which, and this will tell us position 48, 47, all the way to position 43. So 47 through 43. There it is. How did I know that? 47 is where the first true started. I went back from 49 to 48 to 47. Does everyone see how I'm using the position right here of 49, and this is position 48, 47, position 47 to the length of the vector 43. So I'm able to kind of figure out what the output is before it runs, which is an important thing to do if you know how to code, to be like, okay, it's going to give me the positions of the trues when I put the which inside there. You're testing your mind. You're quizzing yourself when you look at it and you say, what will the which do to this? It'll return the positions of the trues. Here's where the trues start. Here's where the trues end, starting from position 47 to position 53, and here's the positions it returns. Now, what you could do here is you could go to the length of this vector, which will be 7, And that works. Wait, max print still down here. Boop. Or this is a secret 100 points. It goes on top of what you get. What's the quickest way to figure out how many trues there are? What's the quickest way, the 3-letter way, to figure out how many trues there are? Quickest 3-letter way. Secret 100 points on top of your regular 100 points. Boom, Jonathan. Love it. There you go. Done. Got it. Nice job, Jonathan, right there. Awesome stuff. Everyone else is at their 100 right now. If you're answering right now, you got your 100, but Jonathan got a secret 100. He's at 200. We're just going crazy on these Fridays. So, too much Red Bull. So, if you want to figure out the percent, the long way to figure out the percent is to do this. There's multiple ways. This is the long way to figure out the percent. That's the long way to figure out the percent. And then this is the short way to figure out the percent. So that's the short way. The answer to the question is this. That is the answer to the question. Exactly. The max points is 100 unless I break the rules, and Jonathan is the only person who's broken the rules so far. Jonathan has had the rules broken for Jonathan. So everyone else who's been answering everything, you might be at 100 already. I've kind of gone crazy, but I don't know. That's what we do. We ruin the points economy every semester, which you guys like, because then you get really good points. So with this right here, we know the answers, and guess what? It's not even 30 minutes into class. Who's already gotten 100 on their quiz? Who's already gotten 100? Let's see some positivity in the chat for the people who've already gotten hundreds. Who's done the quiz, got 100? This is off your plate now. Boom, Henry right there. Henry, you got another 100, Henry. We like it. And that's what I want to see. I want to see us starting off the morning, got 100, great grades. And then so hopefully people aren't like, oh, there's too many. I'm not making fun of anybody, I swear. But I'd hate if someone was like, there's so many assignments. No, these quizzes are meant to be like, yeah, you know we're doing it. You got it. This is your 100 more. This is your 100 right here. Start today with a rainbow and some happiness. Everything going on right here. Good morning to the day. 100 on these Fridays. We might always try to do 100 on a Friday. Who knows? But nice and easy. Brandon, you cracking me up, man. I love it. Man, I love the positivity in this chat. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Let's go back. Here we are. We don't want to be here. We want to be over here. Here we are. Some of these, it's like so small, and then it goes off center. Ugh. It's so, I don't know. Yep. Alex, you're right. That's 100% right, Alex. It is a shorter way. The way the code is on these slides, I might even make a... I said I was going to do it yesterday, I think. I wonder if I could do this. Give me 2 seconds. Let me add up another mains. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to try something. I want to get your guys' thing on this. I'm going to do a Zoom thing. So let me do this. Window capture. No display capture. Add source. New source. Main Zoom. Add source. So add source. Main Zoom. Wait. Oh, well, hopefully I don't destroy everything, everyone. Done. Okay, whoa, I just added 3 of these main zooms. I'll fix this later. I'm still back here. Oh my gosh, what have I done? Which source? Okay, that's the source here. Okay, good. So 2 seconds. Let me see if I can get this. And you guys can tell me what you think about this. Okay, so I think the code's always going to be there. And there. And let's go here. And let's go here. I might be able to have it so I can zoom in on the code. Because I feel like sometimes it's too small. And see, maybe if I go and... Because I can't keep the aspect ratio on that. It can be this much bigger, but that's not that much bigger. So I could... Ooh, wait. Is that going to... And then I could put this right here. So this is like the zoom of it. So if I do the zoom button, let me remove out the extra sources. You guys can tell me what you think in the chat. as I make a little bit of, let me remove this, remove that. So here's my idea, is I made this zoom button now. So, I mean, it looks a little bit better, but I could like zoom in. How much easier is this to see when I do the zoom button? Does it make it a good bit easier? Like if when I click zoom on that, it just might have issues with the aspect ratio. Actually, I think it makes it a good bit easier. What do you guys think? Like when I click the zoom button, it's being weird. Makes it easier? Yeah. And I might actually have to have it that way because, yeah, it's better. I think it's totally on the screen. Yeah, yeah. Well, I might need to keep it like this. Better. Yeah, we're gonna keep it straight like this. I think, yeah, I want to make it so everyone can see, because even when I look at the screen, I have a hard time seeing it, and I want to make sure you can see it. But my screen's in a smaller window, but I want it to be really large. It changes the aspect ratio a little bit, and it cuts off a little bit of the top part, but that's all right. So awesome. Okay, let's do this. Okay. So what we were covering yesterday, yeah, Brennan, great advice right there. Brennan, definitely take Brennan's advice of like theater and use pop-out chat. You can organize your screen in a lot of great ways. So, yep, solid improvement. I like that. I'm always trying to improve what we're doing, make this look way better. And I might even change how I'm oriented with all these screens, but I want this to be as good as possible. So for our assignment, and people have been working on it, we have 4 loops due this, is it Monday? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember all the classes I have with everything due, and the easiest way is always just look when things are due. I think I have that open in a separate window. And you guys are probably telling me in the background right now. Let me see her assignments. When is the assignment due? The assignment due is June 7th. Today is the 5th. It's Sunday. It looks like it's Sunday. So Sunday, thank you everyone in the chat for Sunday. Laptop and phone combo. Yes. Do that. Be in the chat with the laptop and the phone. A lot of people do that combo. So the biggest thing we need to know, I think we need Sunday, Jonathan. And I'll tell you why. Because I'll tell you this much. I will be helping out on Sunday. And you know what? Okay, well, let me do it this way. Would you guys be okay if we keep it to Sunday and I will do, how many problems did I say? I think I said 2 out of you have to do 2 problems. I'm going to put a huge help in here. I'm going to basically do the assignment today for you, just because I know everyone. Okay, 2 problems. So here, let's hop to the main screen. And let me see what you guys are seeing. Oh, there's my rainbow. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do almost all of your assignment. So I'm going to do almost all your assignment because I want to keep it to Sunday, because next week we're probably going to have 3 assignments due. We'll probably have an assignment due on like Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe like Sunday again. So there's going to be like 3 assignments due. So I don't want to put it to Monday unless we have an assignment due on Tuesday, and then I think it'll make it too cluttered. So I'm going to do something to help out here. I'm going to do a lot of the assignment. We're going to talk through it because we've covered pretty much everything, and we don't have that much on the ifs and the elses. That won't really be on your guys' test. We're going to cover that more in 474. I mean, it's in the notes. You can read over it. But the biggest thing you need to know is a for loop. You have to know for loops. So let's talk about how for loops work. We talked about them yesterday, and basically we've covered all of the important notes. When you look at the notes, it's basically like a whole book on coding. So the notes are very, very, very extensive. Like if you ever look at the notes, they do tons of examples. It's just example after example after example after example after example after example after example. Look, 7 examples going over how things work and showing you different examples. There's the drunken sailor one is so cool. It's a guy who gets drunk and has to walk home. I mean, guy, gal, whoever. So they're just like, they walk 1 foot in one direction, and then they spin around, and then they walk 1 foot, and then they spin around. They walk another foot, and this person got just lost and just spun around in circles. So it shows the plot of how long it takes them to kind of escape this area. but that's a pretty cool one that uses a while loop. So check that one out if you want it, but it's a really fun example. You've done that. I like that, Brad. 20 points, Brad, right there. So all this going on right here, conditional statements, and we won't really cover ifs, but 474 we'll be hearing about ifs. And so don't worry, you will learn about that. There's endless stuff to learn with coding. So let's hop into your assignment. Let's take a look at it right here. Let's go ahead and get the assignment going up. And I think this is the fairest thing I can do, is like help out with these things. Because if we're doing it in class and we're talking about it, then it's very much, like I can expect you to do it because we did it. Okay. So we just loaded the environment. Now, what does this line of code do right here? Well, this line of code above it gets your working directory, which I think I'm in downloads, which you'll see me working from downloads a lot of times, so I can just download stuff. If I make a 320 folder and a 474 folder, like I teach both classes, so I'd have to switch between them. And I do so much downloading that it's just easier for me to just like download the file and do it. Now, you can work out of your downloads if you want. I shouldn't. I should stay more organized. But it just helps me sometimes just be like, oh, I can download this and run it. So I know, bad organization, but it works. So the biggest thing, I want to say this, you need to have your RMD or any of your files in your working directory. So a lot of people will say like this won't load. You need to go to session, set working directory, choose directory. And then you need to make sure in your files that everything you have right here is in, there's Thanos snap right there. Thanos. You have to make sure that everything you have is in your files. Like when you look over here, whatever you're trying to access, is there. And make sure you're in the right spot with session, set working directory, choose directory. I've got a video on this, on setting your working directory. Just make sure you have your working directory set to the right spot. That way when you try to load something, it loads, because this is currently in my working directory. It has to be in the directory you're working in. There's other ways you could load and choose your directories. So you can choose something other than your working directory. Right here, we see all this good stuff. So we're just going to make a vector x, run the mean of x. Don't worry, that's just showing you how output looks. And here we go. First question. Do you have to do that if the files are organized? No, if your files are in their spots, you're good. I still have my data in my global environment from last assignment. Yeah, that's okay. You can go right up here to this button, Alex, great question, and you can click this and clear it. So does everyone see this button right here? This is the clear your global environment. Just make sure you want to. Please make sure you want to before you do this, because there's no undo button. So if you have something stored up there like this, you can go right here. You can do that, and your global environment's now cleared. Alex, extra 100 points, Alex. Thank you for asking that, because these are the things that I do that I've done a billion times. The assignment says assignment 3. Wait, what? Oh, it says assignment 3 where? Don't worry, things get so disorganized. I know it says spring 2019. Sorry about that. The title says assignment 3. Oh, like at the very top? No! No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. I didn't see that. Or Jonathan, extra 100 points. Thank you for pointing that out, Jonathan. Wait, let's look. So Jonathan says it says 3. Wait, but someone highlighted that as though they just changed it a moment ago. Thank you, Jonathan, extra 100 points. Sorry about that. I make changes, and there's so many changes, and everything just, it's like we try to change it every other semester or every so often, and then it causes issues as we go through. I didn't see anything, Dennis. I didn't see Brian changing that. Oh no, I'll edit out that part of the video. I won't do that. I know, it's so weird. It's like, hey, Adam, good to see you here, Adam. Adam from some 201. So good to see you. We're still having fun. Totally random that Adam just showed up right here. It's like our third randomness of the day. Brian is totally drinking way too much Red Bull. My thing is being slow. You got a second random because my buttons are being weird today. So we are doing some for loops right here. Let's talk about for loops. We've already got our 100 on our quiz. Now we're going to get 100 on this assignment. So many crab raves. Here we go with a for loop right here. Now, okay, so I gave some really good advice to the other class yesterday. Write this down. Put it in the chat. Just make me proud here. Probably everyone's gotten some max points today. So here we go with the things you need to know. I like that, Ben. The first thing we do when writing a for loop, you ready for the first thing we do? First thing you do is, you don't have to write in the assignment. You are right, Brennan. And I'm going to put it this way. Don't write your for loop. And Brennan's right. This is kind of the second thing. Write your skeleton. Oh, no, but you can redo it, Dennis. You can redo it. It should let you redo it. You can retake it. No, you go. Pay respect. Got it. Even I'm going to jump in here for that. So, should let you redo it. Write your skeleton. Don't write your for loop. Write your skeleton. Write the outline. Griffin's right. Nice job right there. Write your skeleton. Write your outline. Tell me lines what through what currently have skeletons on it. Lines what through what. I guess you can put these comments in here. That's not excessive output. So you could put your comments in here on how to do this. So what through what have the skeleton. I'm also kind of doing this in class today too because I have a meeting at noon, so I can't hold office hours till afternoon. It's actually a very important meeting. It's about the future of how we'll do online tests. And people have said it. Yep, line 46 through 53, you're right. That's a skeleton. So we're going to go down here. We're going to type FOR now that we've got our skeleton. And this is a snippet which does a bunch of the code for us. There we go. And then inside of here, we put the skeleton. Now, the skeleton can be more than one line, but it's just the code that repeats. So the skeleton is just the code that repeats endlessly. It just repeats as many times as we want. So kind of easy to see. Well, maybe it's a little bit tougher. How many times? Well, like, I can rephrase this a few ways. What numbers do you want this code to go through? Let's use this one. This is better. What numbers do you want this code to go through? Doesn't matter which one we pick, but I just want that one. What numbers do you want this code to go through? Give me a vector of numbers you want to go through. I think there's two decent answers to this. 2 through 98 is an answer I like. I'm good with 2 through 98. Sylvia, I think you might not be inside of the dots. Send me a screenshot, Sylvia. Or we might have to hop on Zoom because if the autocomplete's not working, you might be outside of the code brackets. So we might try to figure that out. And Sylvia, excellent work. Sylvia, I'm throwing you an extra 100. I want you to email me about this and we'll get it figured out. Austin, you're at an extra 100 because Austin gave both answers. Yep. And he was the first person to give the other answer too. So I like the 4 through 100. So this is going to be the vector of numbers. This vector of numbers are the numbers that will replace whatever I put for the variable in the code. Has anyone got a variable name you want us to use? What is the most common variable name we use when we're changing maybe just like one thing? Like what's a very common, like, let's just put in something small to change. Yep, I. Boom, Dennis, extra 100 right there. I. And we wouldn't want to use X, and I'll explain why. Good, Ben, extra 100. I like that you brought up X. X is already assigned to this right here. So we wouldn't want to use X because X already is something in the kind of code because that'll say change X. So we want to make sure we kind of use a new thing. No, don't worry. That's why I give you an extra 100 right there because I want you to see like why do we not use X? Because X is this. Because if I make this X right here, every time it sees X, it'll change this to 4 position 4, 5 position 4. So we don't want to change X. We want to create something new to change, and we'll call it I. Now, the first time this code runs, I will become what? Like when this code runs right here, I will become what the first time it's looping. No, Ben, I like it too. No, I want people to always talk. I want no one to feel bad if they're wrong. I want no one to feel bad if I say like, hey, delete that comment. Don't worry. Like I've asked many people to delete stuff. It's just like, because then like, I'm like, hey, just retract that comment, but don't worry. Like it's just conversation. It's what we do. I becomes 4. You guys are following along. You know what's going on. So guess what? Since I becomes 4, that. So now the first time this runs, I becomes 4. Next time it runs, I becomes 5. And let's take a look. That's what's going on up here. I becomes 4, I becomes 5, I becomes 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 100. So it's go do. Do you see it looping? It's going to be 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 100. Not 100 immediately, but after a long period of time, it's going to become 100. So after like 93 more runs or something like that. And so what else changes? The what's change in this code. What else changes? Look at the very first, look at my line of code right here. What else changes? Sarah, 100 points also, helping out Sylvia right there. I appreciate that, Sarah. Thank you so much. You got an extra 100 on top. You got 200. If I say you got an extra 100 on top, that means you get to the 200 today. Denominator in the fraction. Great answer right there, Henry. That's an extra 100 right there. Great way of phrasing it, too. And so let's just call it I, right? If I call this I, what will it become the first time it runs? So if I call this I, what will that become the first time it runs? Like if I just say, oh, that'll be I. It'll become 4. We don't want it to be that. So let's open up a parentheses right here. We want it to be what? 100 points first person. What do we want? I'm inside of a parentheses right now. Make sure. So we want it to be 2, but there we go. Corbin. Wow, you guys are doing great. Yep. And this also changes. That's it. Now we did it. And then I think it wants us to print the tail of X. Write a loop to do this instead. Well, I did it there. And I think it says print the tail. Once you do this, run tail of X. Please always read the instructions. Every once in a while, forget to do a part of it. And there, oh, I printed X here. We don't want the full X. It did not say print all of X. So there we go. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, run this as a sanity check. There we go. We could do that down here too. There we go. And we got the sanity check. We're good. 1 of 3 question dones. Make sure to make your vector X. Do you have your vector? When you look here, over here in the global environment, Sylvia, great questions. Do you see the vector X in the global environment? Right over here. Do you see this? If you don't see the vector X in the global environment, go ahead and run line 44 or right here on line 55, and that'll create vector X in the global environment. You do see that? Send me your code via email, Sylvia. Send me your, you might be somehow, every now and again, I get a pop-up saying the R code execution. That might be a weird R install error, Brad. That's one of the ones that scares me. That one's not good. That one might mean we might need to reinstall R. I've seen that, and that one's one of the bad ones. Brad's just like, like that one's one of the not fun errors that I don't like dealing with, and I don't know if I have a good solution for it, but we'll work on it. We'll get it figured out. Sorry, Brad. I'm sorry, Brad. That's like Brad's like, no, today was a good morning, but I close it and things work. Yeah, it's so weird. We'll try to figure it out, and if we can figure out why that error occurs, because that'll happen to some students. It doesn't happen to me, but I've seen it happen to students. And kind of the nice thing about helping students code is I see like hundreds of errors and errors that I don't get. So like, I mean, because I get my own errors and then other people get other errors, and then it helps me see things. And I've only had one student in the history of coding who I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like I just couldn't fix it. And I brought him to Dr. Petrie, and Dr. Petrie couldn't fix it. And we just could not figure out why things were not working. And we just thought it's got to be something related to the computer. Like it's got to be like some way this computer's set up. Something's going on. Just like, so we were like, we just kept trying, and we just kept being like, we're going to try to figure it out. And I felt so bad because we just couldn't figure it out. I was just like, I had no idea what's going on. I can't tell you. Okay, so which one do people want to do next? Oh, we got to do 1B. Let's do 1B. Okay, so let me explain why 1A and 1B exist the way they do. 1A is taking code and turning code into a for loop. 1B is taking a for loop and turning it back into the code it came from. So please note the importance of 1A and 1B, that 1A is taking code like this and putting it into a for loop. Then we're going to go backwards from a for loop to the code. Now, think about this. What is the first thing we should extract from the for loop? What is the first thing we should extract from the for loop? What is the first thing we should extract from the for loop? Who's got it for 100 points? It says you don't exist. Oh, it says I doesn't exist. Send me... Sorry, Sylvia, that cracked me up. Send it to me, Sylvia. We'll get it fixed. We've got until like Sunday night. We'll get it fixed. So that just the nerdy Brian, just that made his day. Okay, so we need 15 lines of code. Watch this. You ready? So I just extracted the skeleton. Did everyone see I took out the skeleton right here? Boom. The skeleton is the lines of code that repeat. So guess what I'm going to do? First, I'm going to format these lines right here just to make them nice and neat. That's one skeleton. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. I've now done 10 of the 15 lines. It says write 15 lines of code, and here's 10 of the 15 lines. We're 66% done. Dennis, I love that. It's like, do I even exist? What is going on? Oh, dude. Like, so much Red Bull. Love it. Okay, so we've extracted the skeleton. The skeleton will run 5 times. How did I know that the skeleton will run 5 times? Because this vector here is how many times it runs. The first time it runs, it's going to use Cannon for position, then Jackson for position, then Benford for position, then Pause for position, then Moxie for positions. So someone tell me, the first time it runs, what's it doing to position? We can kind of see this in the background. Watch this. Wait, position is Moxie, because the whole thing just ran. So what is it doing inside of R the first time it runs? This is the answer. Yep. Mila, amazing job. That's it. That's what it's doing. It's going right here, storing that. And now we go here, copy this line of code, go there. And I think we can do it. Don't worry, I'm going to change that. There we go. Good. That's what I wanted. Is it in the right spot? No, wait. Yeah, that's the right spot. I am so blind. I keep wanting to get laser eye surgery, but I'm so afraid. I want laser eyes. And I'm just like, I want to be the one. I know someone who had laser eye surgery that didn't go the way they like it to go. So I was just like, yeah, there's so few people who have it and it goes poorly. And then I know someone who talks about how they had it and now they see like spots like all the time. I'm like, I've gotten used to being blind. I've not gotten used to seeing spots. Like I'm just used to like, even though I wear contacts, being like I'm used to it. And then at night, if I take my contacts out and being like, I can't see anything, so I'm used to it. I got blind down. I don't got seeing spots down. So I've had 2 eye surgeries, and maybe hey, those came out okay, I think. So we've now done it. We've done the question. We did it. This was it. Oh, finding the oh man, I want to be I take it as like I'm almost prideful in how blind I am, Andrew, but I think you have me beat. Like, you might have me beat. And you see, if I should have never got my eye surgeries. At 2 years old, I should have been like, nope, no eye surgery. Parents taking me in, and I'm like, I don't want the eye surgery. They're like, you're 2. You can't do that. I had eye surgery at 2 and 12. And so I remember the one at 12. That was fun. And I don't remember the one at 2. So, yeah. I didn't get glasses till I was 2. Yep. That's when I started wearing glasses too. I had the huge like Coke bottle glasses. Like I had the big, like in elementary school. 2 years for them to realize, yeah, that's exactly with me too. I think they start to realize like when, kids are as blind as we are, like they start to be like, whoa. And like my parents are like, oh, our kid is really blind. He's got problems. And I'm really happy that my parents, got me eye surgery, because that's, obviously probably helped me a lot growing up. So that's really kind of lucky there in that regard. So we've got this right here. What question do you guys want to do? 2, you guys probably want to go in order. 2, 3, 4, or 5. Take your pick. I'm going to vote 5. Actually, I want to do 5. I know what 5 is. 5 is a fun one. I'm voting 5. What are we voting? 3? Want to do 3? Oh, Mila, I bet it seems like you've been working on this. Have you been working on this, Mila? If so, because you gave through an exclamation point. That like outweighs all the votes. We might just go to 3. Mila, have you been working on this? Okay, Mila, we're doing 3 because I can tell like that answer right there with like 3 exclamation point. So you finished 1, 2, and 4. Awesome. Let's do 3. You ready? So excellent job, Mila. This one's scrolling out for Mila right there. So wait, where's my? There we go. Hitting things. Yeah, I guess I might move around the microphone some. So load in the tips data frame. Okay, so we got reg class tips. Okay, so one thing right here, please realize that you need to install reg class. I want to point out a few things. 1, has anyone ever seen a Word document where you have a program inside of it? Has anyone ever like opened up a Word document and it has a program inside of it? Like, or you could print it off. Like, it's a Word document and you print it off, and it has like a program like Tetris inside of it. Anyone ever seen that? Like, you're like, whoa, this paper has, I can play the paper. I'm thinking no. So what am I talking about? You can't install packages and knit this. You can't knit this. This should crash. It might crash right here on line 142. Oh, it did it? Does it skip that now? No way. New R knows how to get around this. Okay, wait. Okay, now it's mad. Okay, good. I like that. Andrew, I think New R knows how to skip that. No way. Wow. Got to update what I say in class. I used to crash. But they realized now. Now it's mad. They updated this. Yeah. Because they make it skip it. Whatever. Knit is smarter. Because they used to crash it. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter if you remove it or not. I like trying things to see like if it still does the same thing it did a year ago, but nope, it doesn't, because it now knows you can't knit it, and so I can't make that joke anymore. That joke's gone. Damn, you are taking away my jokes. They were so good. But we got right here, define a vector called this. How do we define a vector? Like, what do I do with this right here? Who can go to 100 points right here? How do I define an empty vector? This is a great question. How do I define an empty vector? You know what? I don't know if anyone's going to answer it right away, but let me put some, this would be a good test 1 question. Oh, you guys are so smart. So this would be a decent, I could see this being a test 1 question. Like, how do you define an empty vector right here? What would be the answer for how do you define an empty vector? And hopefully everyone can see the small, subtle differences between these. I could make it even more difficult. I could go right here, and I could do the following. Like, I would love a test question like this because it's very obvious, and hopefully people can see the subtle differences. But this right here, I like multiple choice questions that have more than enough multiple choices to where it's like, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. And right here, the answer would be, and I changed it, I think, sorry for those who put in probably the right answer, and then it's now E. So it was E. And look, F is registering as false, so it's treating that as an object. So the answer is now this one. Sorry, I realized a lot of people were getting it, but that is the answer right there. So the other ones don't even make sense. The other ones are doing weird things that just don't work. There we go. We've got the empty vector. Nice job in the chat. Awesome job right there. Was it James? James, you got that extra bonus 100. And Andrew, you get an extra bonus 100 being here, following along, practicing. Andrew, I need for you to tell them how you think about first assignment of the class, and then does it get easier? Does it get harder? Like, tell them the first week or the second week of class, the difficulty level 1 to 10, middle semester difficulty, end of the semester difficulty. Give them your words of wisdom from having just taken this last semester. I want your words of wisdom to the class, because we need your positivity, Andrew. So they're going to say, but oh, Andrew's so smart though. Andrew is smart, but you guys are smart too. You guys can do it. And Andrew will probably tell you that. I'll let him speak for himself, but I know Andrew's positivity, and I love it. I'm so glad you're here hanging out. But also, honestly, do it. So it's so crazy to me because people will do so 10 for assignment 1, then 9 for assignment 2, then just keeps going down from there. Yeah. It keeps getting easier. And that's what I was trying to stress yesterday is like, by the end, you'll be like, I got this. It's like, just, the class gets easier as we go. Just it's going to feel tough. And then before you know it, it's like people who can ride a bike, like a unicycle and juggle. You're like, how can you ride a unicycle and juggle? They're like, oh, you just get on it and just do it. And you're like, well, how do you do it? You're like, I don't know. I've been doing it for so long. No, Andrew is just really awesome. That's what Andrew is. So it's going to get easier and easier. I promise you. I've seen it every semester. And that's why I just wanted you to know, I do understand that it was tough. Like, I know that first assignment just like, I like that right there. This is the Benjamin Button class. I like that right there. So, but you can juggle. I can juggle. Maybe one of these days I could get it so I could juggle my torches. Where are my torches at? Are they over there? There's the torches. I'll show you the torches after the next. I'm not juggling the torches right now because I literally have lights right here and everything. So like I'm not juggling the torches. There's no way I could juggle the torches in this room without there's thousands of dollars of equipment. One day you should play the piano for us. Yeah, I got videos of me playing the piano and stuff. Chainsaws. I always hear like chainsaws are like never on. Chainsaws you gotta juggle weird or you gotta flip them. That's just people who juggle chainsaws. I doubt that they're juggling. What have I seen? I've seen people juggle. When people juggle, knives are usually not sharp. Chainsaws are usually not on. But there are some crazy people who do some crazy types of juggling. Initially spelled wrong. What? Spell check. Torches are not bad. This is the last thing I gotta say about that real quick. Torches. The most dangerous thing about torches is the metal rod inside of them. Just so people don't think I'm lying. There you go. This is our Friday fun right here. So the most dangerous thing about torches is that they have a metal rod inside of them. And that's the most likely thing to like really hurt you is like this metal rod. I'm hitting the wicks, but this metal rod inside the torches, that's what'll really, if you hit yourself with that, it'll these things have a lot of heft and weight to them. And if you whack yourself across the head, it really hurts. So I've juggled the torches and like whacked myself, and that hurts. If you're not going to catch this in and like hang on to a fire, you're either going to drop it or something. So torches are not that dangerous. Like you're not going to set yourself on fire unless you're doing something like you're not going to like hold it up to yourself and like hold yourself on fire. 2 questions. Yeah. So let's get this one done. We got more than enough time. Let's having a little bit of fun right here. Let's do it. Just 2 questions. We got this. You ready? So here we go. We got our vector right here. We're going to get serious now. We had our little bit of fun. Average tip by day. So let's see right here. So it says what we need to do. We need to get the average tip by weekday. So let's go inside of here. And what are we going to do first? What's the first thing we're going to do? I need people to tell me in the chat what's the first thing we're going to do. What is the first thing we are going to do? First thing we are going to do. First thing we're going to do. You got it. Write that skeleton. We're going to write a skeleton here. So don't write your for loop. Write a skeleton. Do not write that for loop. Don't do it. Don't do that for loop. Okay. So when we do this right here, we need the average tip by day. I like that right there, Austin. So how are we going to get the average tip by day right here? Well, how can we get a certain day? Who can give me a hint for how to get a certain day? I need to get a certain day. Well, let's get the average tip for like, I don't know, Friday or something like that. How can I get an average tip for a certain day? Subset. So let's go here to tips. And then let's go to conditions. Is it weekday? Is it weekday? Find out the hard way. No, it's not weekday. It is weekday. Oh. There we go. It's weekday with a capital W. We could have confirmed this right here, and I could have gone down to this, taken that, and gone there, just to make sure I get it right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and I'm going to call this sub, and I'm going to save into it. And now we take a look, and we see we just have Friday. This is a really good thing to do right here to practice and make sure you have it. Always look at what you create. Like after you create it, take a look at it. Make sure it's what you want. So everyone see right here, I've actually just taken this. Now we could, I've never done it this way. We could go here to select, and we could select just, and we want that select. We could select just, is it tip? Is it average tip percentage? It's tip, right? So it's tip there. So we could select just tip, and now our subset is just one variable, and it's just the tip. But, so we go right here, and here we won't do this right here. We'll just take the full subset. Okay, so now we got this right here, and now we got all the variables. We don't have just tip. We have gender, we have smoking, we have weekday, we have time, we have everything right here. And with this right here, I think it's tip percent. Is it tip percentage? Oh no, sorry. Average tip by day with the average tip percentage. 100 points right there. Henry Henry, I think I'm putting you at 300 right there because, wow, if you hadn't said that, I would give you guys the wrong answer. And the grader would say, everybody got this question wrong. And so that would be even worse. And there we go. And here we go right here. So we now have the tip percentage for the subset. What do we want for the tip percentage? And great job, Henry. Good catch. I make mistakes. It was called average tip. You know what I'm going to do? I'm calling it that. That'll make more sense. So now I've stored it as average tip percentage. So now what do we want from the subset? What do we want from the subset of it? So I've displayed the average tip percentage. What do we want for the average subset? I just shut. What do we want for this right here? Someone take and adjust that bit of code because I want something for it. Adjust the code, fix up the code. We're so close. We almost got this. We were just like 2 steps away from getting our for loop working. It says weekday not found. Make sure it has a capital W. To confirm you have weekday spelled correctly, go down here to names and go to names tips and then choose weekday from this. Make sure tips is loaded in from library reg class. So tips is loaded in from library reg class. If you run this, make sure it says that you have reg class. If it says you don't have reg class, and thank you for all the questions. This is where people will get stuck. If you don't have reg class, run that right there. Subset. Don't do that yet, Alex. You're close, Alex. Alex, you're super close. And Alex, we will be doing that. You're all right. Like, we will be doing that. And Henry, you're super close too. So everyone is, yep. And then, is yours working, Casey? Casey seems to be working. So we're going to go here and go mean of this. Does everyone see this? That's the mean for that day. The mean tip percentage. Is there a reason we hit enter after the comma? Oh, this right here. I just do it for the syntax to make it look nice. I like to have my conditions on a separate line. So if I do like another condition right here, it'll sub-indent where I could do like tip, like I could do tip equals to $2 or something like that. And then I could do another condition. I could do tip, like this won't work, equals $2 because those conflict. And then this goes right here and I could do select. So the reason I like to do these on separate lines is so I can kind of like read through the code and be like, these are the conditions. It's just formatting. Great question right there, Emily. Another 100. You're at 200. So, and Alex, yep. Alex gets it. So this is the tricky part, I think, where people make mistakes, is we're going to store this into a spot. Now, we're not going to call it a placeholder yet. This is our skeleton. So right here, we've now written our skeleton. So this says store into the vector average tip by day to position Friday, the mean for the subset, which was a subset of the tips data frame where weekday was equal to Friday, the mean of that subset for tip percentage. Does that make sense? So we're going to store the mean for the subset for the variable tip percentage into the vector average tip per day, average tip percentage by day, and position Friday. The subset was created from the tips data frame, and on weekday, that was Friday. So it only took Friday as the day. Does everyone understand how this code right here works for Friday? Does that make sense? It's today. It's Friday. Friday. Something Friday. Everybody's getting ready for the weekend. I totally butchered the lyrics to that song because I don't know it. Sorry, Rebecca Black. So does everyone know what's going on here? Makes sense? So what do we have right here? We've done it. We now have our what? We have our what? I want to see in the chat. We've created it. It has now been created. It looks like Alex, a lot of people know what's going on. Like, great job, people. Yes, Austin, you got another 100 right there. Austin, you're 200. Let's go right here to 4. And now we have our skeleton. We're going to re-indent these. We'll do it this way. There. Sure. Oh, it's going over the line. It's saying new. There we go. Okay. So now we need to do the following. We need to pick a name for a variable. What would be a good name for a variable? What would be a good name for a variable? And the variable, so if you remember, the variable is what will change every time the code runs. Target of assignment, you might have to send me that. Send me that, Jonathan. Jonathan, send me that. Good job, Jonathan. Send me that, and I'll figure out what's going on with that code. That target of assignment, I don't know what that, I haven't seen that error. I'm sorry, I'm like, what is that error? So we're going to pick day. Where do I need to replace with day? Where does day need to go? Day needs to go where? Where does day need to go? Day needs to go where? Day will replace everything that is, because day is going to change. Wherever day is at, that will change every time the code runs. Yep, whatever Friday is, because that's what's going to change. Day right here. What is the quickest way for me to see the different levels of this variable? Let me see. Oh, you've got the parent. You use this instead of this. This might fix it right here, right there. Yep. Boom. Alex, great job. Here we go. And Jonathan, if you can delete that real quick in the chat. So don't worry. I want everyone to copy this down real quick. Well, no, I guess everyone's... don't worry about Jonathan. Everyone's been putting code. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Someone's got to at least watch this video and know what's going on. So we have right here. Let's take a look at our vector. We did it. We did. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Jonathan, you're at your 200 points. Thank you. I feel bad for saying that, but yeah. And email me if it's not working, and we'll get it working. We'll get it working. Please email me, people. Please email me. We will get this working. If you notice here, Thursday comes last. We can fix that by going to concatenate. And then we can look at this. There you go. And one of my favorite things to do is to double click stuff. It'll highlight that object. So if you double click this, you can copy paste it. It's just the faster you get at copy pasting, double clicking, you can triple click to get a line. For those who haven't tried this, double click on something you see, go to average tip per day, double click it. Now try this, go to another line and triple click it. So if you didn't know that, you can double click to select a word, or you can triple click to select a line. So, and I don't think there's quadruple click. Nope, there's not. There's so many things, but the double click to select a word is super quick. I use that all the time. You'll see me double clicking and moving things around. I guess I could, yeah, you could do like that. You don't want to do that though. I don't do that trick. But double click and triple click are very, very good. Double click right there, just to select a word and then copy paste it or something like that. So learning these little tricks really, really, really helps you out and speeds you up in coding. And the faster you get, the easier it is to code. So every time I try running, tells me update load packages, wants to restart my R. Hit yes, and then once it does that, just close out of R after it completes it. So hit yes, and then just let R restart, and then delete the installed packages, and I think it should be good. We might have to, if we need Jonathan, we could hop on a Zoom a little bit later, and we can be make sure what's going on right here. But good, and this is Jonathan. Great job on starting it early, because little things like this can just, you could be this is when you get to 8 o'clock at night and you're Andrew, thank you, Andrew. 100 points, Andrew, right there. Andrew, you're getting some mega points even before class starts. So that's why students can help out other students, and I love it, because they're oh, I have that problem too. This is what helped. Just do one package at a time. And this is why I always say, don't wait till 8 or 9 at night to start. You could hit a roadblock, and maybe it might take me an hour to respond to you, or 2 hours. And at 9 o'clock at night, if you're stuck and it takes me 2 hours to respond to you, which 2 hours is pretty quick, then you're well, I guess I can't do this assignment. So if you start early and you hit a roadblock, we'll just get you through it. So we'll figure it out, and you can put it aside. If it doesn't work, you can be okay, the assignment's due Sunday night, and I'm stuck right now. Well, let me just email Brian, and cool. So please start every assignment super early. You might not need the extra time, but just if you hit a roadblock, you can get it fixed up. Boom. Define a vector called this. Could you scroll for a second? Yeah. Do you need this right here? Let me show it all. Boop, pause the screen. This is the full thing right here. Do you know when assignment 1 will be graded? The grader, we were talking last night. I think it'll be graded up by today. We were emailing. So Sylvia, I think it'll be all graded today. Please tell me if you see any issues with the grading. So Q3A. I'm putting a little, which you could do. I don't want to do that because it'll look sorry. I'm just going to go Q3B. Oh, there we go, Brad. Awesome. Love it. Define vector. There we go. Yeah, the grader's really great. They've been doing an excellent job. Please tell me if you see anything odd with your grading. Be like, Brian, I don't think I should lose points here. You can say that. Say, Brian, too many points off. Say, okay. Let me take a look. And they're just really good. I expect them to do 2-day turnaround at most. You have to do question 1 and then 2, like this is question 3, so you have to do like all of question 3. We'll do question 2 next. 2 we can do. We'll have this done by the end of class. We're just taking our time, relaxing. I might be able to do question 5, which is one of my favorites, and then we'll have done everything basically. So now we want to define a vector called median tip by party. Write a for loop to populate the elements of median tip with the median bill amount for each unique value and party size. Okay, so there's a function right here called unique. And if we call unique, we can go to tips, party size, and guess what we get? We get the unique values of party size. Now what you could do is you could sort this table, and guess what you get when you sort it? You get them in order. Now it's just a vector 1 through 6. Yep, and you make sure it's like full question 3. So Mila, I think you were done. You had already done 1, 2, and 4, so you were done. Maybe I'll tell the grader to give some extra points, like 2 extra points again if you do extra questions. So once again, a little bit extra credit for those who are working ahead. So I'll probably say to the grader, give 2 points if they get these right. And like, so, probably tell the grader which ones you're doing and maybe delete the other ones. It helps the grader if you like, make your, like, remove things you're not doing to be like, I chose these 2 right here. That really helps the grader. I might send even a reminder to say like, hey, delete the things you're not doing. It helps the grader, speeds up. They'll be super happy with that if you kind of make it more obvious what you're doing. We like that. So right here, we have the unique values right here. I'm going to put this over to the side for the moment. Okay, so here's the unique values of party size. I want the median tip by party size. So what will I do right here? What will I do right here? I need to do a what again? I need to first do a what again? I need to first do a what again to get the median tip by party size? Any ideas? Well, wait. Don't write the for loop yet. Write your skeleton. Skeleton, you got it. And my first thing in my skeleton will be to take a what? Because I want to do it like by party size. So I want to do it by party size. Subset, Casey, excellent work. Casey, that's an extra 100. You had 200. Crazy points today. So here we go to subset. And then we're going to go and we're going to do party size equals, what's a party size I can pick? Anyone got a party size I can pick? Here's hints. Can't see it. Anyone got a party size I can pick? Any party size I can pick? We can do 4. Yep, we can do 4. Boop, there's 4. And so now 5, I love it. Where's me at? There we go. No 7, stat to a 1. Can't do 7. 7's not in there. Stat to 1. Goofing off again, man. You got to get serious, stat to a 1. So it's into a 1, so it's all right. So no more than there you go. Oh, really? Is that currently the restriction? Well, there we go. Okay, there we go. This is obeying current guidelines. I didn't know that because I don't go out to eat. I don't really leave the house. I've been trying to walk more because I started walking again and I got tired and I was like, uh-oh, I need to walk. It was last week. There you go. And then we go right here and we need to, once we get the subset, we're going to take the what of the, so we want to go to sub, $, and we're doing bill, and we want the what of this. We want the what of this value right here. We want the what of this bill value. We want the what of this bill value. The median, you got it. So let's go to median. And we have it right there. And I think we've got this now. I think we basically have this because here's the thing. What's really awesome about this one is that when we store it, if you notice we're doing the same thing right here. I'm just going to, well, let's write it out. There we go. We have now written our skeleton. So this is our skeleton. This is our code that will repeat every time we run it. Like this code is going to repeat every single time. FOR. drop it in, and then we make this look nicer. And then all we need to do is choose the numbers it'll go through. Hint, hint, hint. Now here's the thing. We don't even have to write that out. We can just put that right there because those are the numbers. Does everyone see that this right here are these numbers? But we could have just written 1 through 6. You could do that, but it's better a lot of times to put the thing like the object you're working with. Like rather than put 1 through 6, this code right here literally is 1 through 6. So this code right here, once again, is 1 through 6. It's the numbers 1 through 6, and we can just put this in here, and it'll just so everyone sees that. I'm just thinking how I would have been like, wait a minute, that's 1 through 6? Yes, it's the sorted unique values of the party size vector inside of the tips data frame. So we took all the unique values, and then we sorted them. So in the future, we might have like, maybe there was 8 here. There was no party of 7, but they let a party of 8 come in. So it wouldn't do it for 7, but it would do it for 8. So that's very, very important right there. And we go here to variable. And what do we want to call the variable? What are we going to call the variable? What shall we? We're almost done. We got this. Red Bull's wearing off. Oh no, I need help. What do we call it? You ain't call it I. I'm good with that. I was going to call it like PS. I was going to call it like PS for party size, but we'll do I. Yep. Doesn't matter what we call it. On, I'm cheating. I'm doing the answers. Ah! And I should like it. There we go. And one thing you could do, I wonder if this will work. Ah! Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? Let me think. There we go. Now I turned it into a named vector. I like that, Dennis. I like that, Dennis. Okay, so if you notice the small change right here, you can't put I in quotes because then I won't augment, and I realized that right after I did it. By putting the I inside of the quotes, that is now not the object I, that is the character I. But I wanted it to use a character, so then I said, turn I into a character. So every time this runs, now this is position 1. So this is a named vector right here, because let's say there was like a party size of 8, it would eventually do the party size of 8. So it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 8 right here. There's other ways, but it's funny. I've been doing problems like this for so long, and then I think of like better ways to do it because I can just say store into the position named this. And so I'm kind of using the same thing we used up here where we used a position day, and down here, this will now become a character. So this 1 right here is not a numeric value of 1. That is the name position 1. So that's a little bit of a trick right here. It works perfectly fine, though, if you do this. If you do this right here. Now, I know what everyone's saying. There's no way, Brian, that you can do the next question in 7 minutes. They're saying, I hear you guys. You're saying there's no way you can do one more in 7 minutes. Really? Guess what, everyone? It's time for, you know what's coming. It's time for a speed run. Let's get the clock up. Let's see how quickly we can do question number 2. Clock's on the screen. We're going to pull it over right here. It is speed run time. You know it. You love it. Let's get the speed run. Here comes the speed run screen happening right now. Time for a speed run. Some Mega Mans. Let's go. Speed run up on the screen. Let's get the window size properly right here. Okay, so we're getting the speed run up and going. Speed run screen going right here. There we go there. Oh, really? Really? Really, window? It's going to take me longer to get the window sized up properly than it is to do the speed run. So here we go. Speed runs are back. Yeah, I figure we need more speed runs. We always need these speed runs. We're going to decrease font size right here. And there we go. Okay. Let's do this. Look at the speed run up on the screen. Let me readjust this window. Once again, it's taking more time to readjust the windows than it is to do speed run. We've done 169 speed runs. And so many speed runs. Okay, so for this question, we're going to read it, and then we're going to do it. So SGDQ, man, summer games done quick. Got nothing on this right here. You got it, man. So forecasts of the number of items purchased in the future uses the following equation. So it uses object n at time t, object n in position t. This is just me reading the rules of the speedrun. I'm reading the rules of it. We have to know the rules before we play it, like what the speedrun wants of us. So it wants us to use this object right here. In other words, the forecast uses 1/2 of today's purchase, so right here, and it's going to use then the square root of 2 days ago, and then the log 10 of 3 days ago. So wait a minute. Well, I'm not going to cheat. That's just what it wants. I'm not going to explain anything yet. Let the 3 most recent observations of a number of purchases be 6, 11, and 21. Okay, it's given me that. 6, 11, and 21. Those are the 3 most recent purchases. We see it right there. This is storing into vector n, which we're going to use vector n. And then it says right here, we're going to do this from 4 to 20. Ooh, that sounds interesting. We're going to go from 4 to 20. And so that's got it. Start the clock. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we got this. We're going to go right here. That's my skeleton. Got this, drop it in, delete out the stuff, delete this out. We got variable t. It's going to go through vector 4 through 20. And then we go here. Oh no, what happened? 12 warnings. What did I do? Position I. Oh no. I think it's got it. I think we did it. What was there 12 warnings? Oh, did I run code that not meant to be run? I think we did it. There shouldn't have been warnings. I was like, why was there warnings? There's no warnings. We're done. That's a world record right there. That was glitchless. We did it. That's the whole question. That was it. I should have put the reading of the question there too. So there's 2 categories. This is category question read, and then the other category is question not read. So this was category instance list. So I know, right? This is so man, I tell you, summoning salt, or you know who I showed him some of this channel. What is his name? I can't think of his name right now. Oh, Easy Escape, man. I gotta send this over to Easy Escape. Easy Escape, you can't beat this. You can't beat that speed run. I know it was a little copy paste right there, but Easy Escape and Bscape. And where you at, Easy Escape? Where's your speed runs at lately? I don't know. He's good. He's fine on his speed runs. So print out the contents of end of the screen when you're finished. Did I not do that? I did it. Wait. Does this not count? Am I DQ'd on this? Am I DQ'd because I didn't print out the contents right there? I did it down here. I did it in the console. Ooh, I think we got a DQ. Alex, you get 100 points right there. Alex, that puts you at 300. I think I got DQ'd, Alex. This speedrun's been disqualified. I'm DQ'd on this speedrun because I didn't print out the contents of N. Good. So, oof. We'll hop back to the main screen right here. Getting DQ'd on my own speedrun. Man, this sucks. So close. Next time. We'll get it next time. So, I mean, I don't know who is the current speedrun. It might be Cheese. He hopped off those Mario 64 speedruns. But yeah, check out some speedruns. Really awesome stuff, especially if you watch Summoning Salt's videos. I know it seems like some of you watch some speedruns. You guys know of STGQ and what is it, AGGQ? Awesome Games Done Quick, or AGDQ, that's right. So Mario 64 speedruns, yeah, those are awesome. Like doing some, what is it called? The backwards, I can't think what those backwards jumps are called. My favorite question, we don't have time for today. It's a bummer. My favorite question would take me longer to speedrun. It's this one right here. I'll give you a hint on this one. Oh, I was actually watching some Dark Soul speedruns. I was watching like no-hit speedruns. Those are just crazy. I guess my only problem with Dark Soul speedruns, yeah, we might have time to do it during off stars. Check back for off stars today. And I've got like 45 minutes of off stars today. Please, once again, hop on the Discord. Let's just end class with that. I'm going to give some promos out here. If you're not on, you're 27th in the world at speedrunning the first campaign in Left 4 Dead 2. Congratulations, Adam. Great work on that. Nice job. I had some really high records in Shadow Complex on Xbox. Was it even original? No, it was 360, I think. On 360, I had like third or fourth, or did I even have? I might have first. I wonder. I don't even know if my times would still exist, but there was like these challenge stages on Shadow Complex, and they had leaderboards. But then some people were like, you could tell they cheated on the leaderboards because their time would be like 0.1 seconds or something. I don't know how they were glitching the speed runs or something, but we would have like 42 seconds and someone would have like 41.998 seconds, and then someone would be like 0.3 seconds, and you're like, you can't possibly get, I mean, like, you're not, it'd be a glitch category if they did that, like, you know, because you can do like credit warps and stuff. Like, I don't know how they were doing that, but it wasn't you weren't actually completing it. So yeah, different categories. That's the good thing about, the speedrunning communities now. But congratulations, Bethesda games are hilarious because of how much they can break those games. Yeah, like when they're like going through, like glitching through walls and like just like traveling right to the person they need to get to. Like Bethesda games, they can get those done in like 6 minutes or something ridiculous. Like Skyrim in 6 minutes. Or like, how do you do that? And they're just like they just like glitch to like the end person that they have to beat, and then it's like the game is over. It's like, how do you do this? So great stuff. Good class today. Hop on the Discord if you haven't. Please tell us if you can't get on the Discord, if you don't know how Discord works. We're trying to build a really strong community. We've completed the full assignment today. We did a lot of review how to do for loops today. How are you guys feeling about the for loops assignment? How do you guys feel, guys and gals, everybody? How do you feel about the for loops assignment in class right now? How do you feel about that for loops assignment? How does everybody feel? It was done. We did the quiz. Fantastic. I beat Skyrim 3 times. I need Elder Scrolls to come out. Oh man, that preview for, what is it? Elder Scrolls 5, is it? Because Skyrim's 4. Is it? Why can't I think of Elder Scrolls 3? I can see the cover of it. Oh man, we finished with the Crab Rave. We finished with the Crab Rave. Skyrim is 5. It's like, if you want to see something awesome, look up Dragonfall Symphony or Dragonfall Orchestra, and they have this lady singing it who just, like, my gosh, like people like sometimes trash video games. They're like, oh, video games, whatever, but you're starting to understand them better now. That's what I like. A lot better now, Megan. That's awesome. I like a lot better. It's just practice. It just takes time, and that's why we're pushing you. We're just like pushing you. The Elder Scrolls 6 was gonna be awesome. Yeah, I know. Like they're showing like the walk around scenery on that. Like, oh, I'm just so excited because like I'm gonna be living with my fiance then, and like when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, like that better come out next gen. It better come out on like PS5 or Xbox Series X. And then if we get that right there, like that's gonna be. And I've got the good PC, so maybe I'll play it on PC. I don't know. I've never been a PC game. I mean, I was when I was a kid, but then I started playing like Xbox. And the first video game system I had as like beyond Nintendo is I first got a PlayStation 2, I think. I mean, I had played PlayStation, I played N64, but I didn't own those in high school. I got, when I went to college, a PlayStation 2, which I already brought that home. And then, yeah, PS2, definitely Bethesda games are the best on PC. Really? Yeah, I know. I should play it because graphic cards and stuff. Yeah. No, I've got, one thing I really liked, Andrew, and we're after class right now. We're just chilling. I got to stream it. Got to stream playing some Bethesda. Like I'll get mad when I play some video games. Like if I die in a video game, I'm like, "Grr!" Like you guys will see me like, you can mod it too. Yeah, I know, right? All the mods. Yeah, like the graphics and stuff, especially with the mods. Can't wait for PC2. What is PC2? Why can't I think of what PC2 is? Can I go back to Q1? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll show it. And Emily, if you have questions, feel free to ask. This is between class, and we're just kind of chilling out. But you can ask anything you want. Here, I'll go back up to the codes. Do you want 1A or 1B, Emily, to see what's going on? With this one right here, we input the skeleton first. Remember, it is recorded, so you can review it, but you can ask questions too if you want. And what is PC2? Like, why don't I know what that is? Like, I feel like, I know it's not a joke or something. You guys are like, haha, you don't know what PC. No, you're not gonna do that to me. But I try to stay up on the memes. So SFF PC, all my parts fit in 3.9L. I don't even know what that is, Alex. We do need a new PC model. I am so confused. Oh, it's console memes. Oh, is it like PS5? Now they're talking about like PC2. Small form factor PC. Oh, like you're talking about like I actually think I have one of those, like a micro machine or something like that. Like I have an Acer which I really like, which I run like Kodi on and stuff, and like can like send stuff. So if you guys know what Kodi is, it was called Xbox Media Center, XBMC. And so then I can run that, like I can connect it, like I can just stream right to Kodi. So if I want to like send something over to it. Send me your code, Emily, and we'll check it out. Send me your code. So 3600X and 2070. I don't know what that is. I'm so behind. Send me your code, Emily, like via email probably, and I'll check it out and I'll figure out what's going on. We'll figure out what happened. Are you double check? It seems to me Intel and NVIDIA. So that's, I guess it's the chipset. I'm going mind blank when I'm trying to figure out the element of a certain column. How do I do that? If you want to go to the element of a certain column, like in a data frame, go to the names. And if you go to like the names right here, that's just the name of the column right here. 12. I think it's a graphics warning. It's made about the graphics over here. So here is just this. Which one? Yeah, no worries, Emily. Here, wait, let me grab that, Emily. Don't worry. You can, if you want to retract that message, Emily, go ahead and retract that message, even though you know the answer's on the screen, just so we know one can copy paste from here. We'll see what's going on right here. And then it's missing this. Do you have the end parentheses, Emily? Does yours, maybe I miscopied it, but do you have the end parentheses? Because I think this is working. And then what's it mad about? Oh, wait. Okay, there it is. There it is. The end parentheses was there. Okay. So, and do this, Emily. Here, wait, Emily, I want you to do this. I want you to go up here to the top of the chunk, and I want you to run the chunk as a whole thing. Ooh, wait. Yeah, that's commented out. Run the whole chunk, Emily, and I want you to tell me if you see the answers. So I want you to go to the very top of the chunk, and I want you to run the whole chunk and tell me if you see the answers. Does that work for you, Emily? Like when you go to the top of the chunk, run the chunk, and do you see all the answers then? Does it then give you like the proper answer right there? Hopefully it does. And if it does, that means you're probably good. Because then you could also try knitting it and seeing if it, when you knit it, if you see the answer. So it says object tips not found. Did I delete the library reg class? Did I delete that? Object tips not found on line 42. Oh, yeah. I put that, where did I do tips? I did it here somewhere. Here it is. I did that for Andrew right there. That's the problem. Don't worry. That was smaller right there. So try knitting it, Emily, and then see when you look down here at the sanity check that it looks the same. So try giving it a knit, and if it knits, it's good. And a lot of people should have the assignment done now. Like I've done the whole assignment. So yeah, can you send me? You might have to send me it, Andrew. Like the 12-1, is that from the assignment? I always want to know what my buttons do on my pen. Assignment 2, question 2B. Let's look at that. Assignment. Oh, this is the wrong one. Let's go. Let's look at that. One of these days I'll wake up. One of these days I'll wake up. Wake up from a dream. Be like, there are so many good games out. Levels by, so that'll rename. So that will rename. Do you want to go to the position? Let me take a look at it and make sure. Okay, so let's take a look. Wait, easier. 2B. Okay. Print to the screen the 120. Okay, wait. So this is the column right here. And are we saving it? The buy box contains this. And so let's run it. Do we have buy box in here now? There, wrong thing. Object buy box not found. Aren't we making buy box? The buy box column contains, that's in the buy, I think. So it's in buy, and here's where I stored it. And so it's in buy, $sign buy box, right? There we go, there we go. Okay. You can buy a bundle from Humble. Yeah. No, I've never bought one. I know they have a lot of stuff. They've got City Skylines bundle right now. I've heard good things about City Skylines. I watch a guy, Lazy Game Reviews, LGR. Prints a screen. There we go. That's got it. That should do it. That should print just that level. There it is. Here it is right here. And that is the level. Go away, error. So do you see it right here, Andrew? Since we want to print to the screen an element from the vector, here's the data frame, here's the vector, and it's a one-dimensional thing. We don't want to store into it and overwrite it. We just want to print it to the screen. And then the biggest thing is we want to look at the format of this, and the format of this is going to be what? It's going to be year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So then we're going to go right here, and then we're going to take this, go that, and then we're going to overwrite. I think this is what we do eventually right here. There we go. And now this has been created into a time object. So if you look at the difference between the way it handles the data now is previously, which I have too much printing to the screen, it didn't show it as a time object before, but now this is a time object. Hey, Madeline, so good to see you. Here, wait, I'm going to put up the outro screen so I can see when this class, but we did a little bit of Force 94 right here. So let me hop back to the outro screen. So let's do that right here. I'll be right back, everybody. Be back soon. Humble is why I have 350 games. Awesome there, Alex. Be right back, everyone. See you soon. Bye.
Productions has a somewhat looser feel to it.
Yeah, it's got an almost improvisational tone.
Hey everybody, how are we doing this Friday morning? Everyone having a great morning right here? Let's see. Tag someone in the chat for 20 points right now. Say good morning. I saw people were talking about the intro video Adam talking about right there. That is some footage from a guy on YouTube. He started the drone in World's Fair Park, and I contacted him because I found it, and I said to him, hey, do you mind if we use this? It is kind of transformative. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. So I kind of like transformed his work because I edited down his video. I put like a reverse alpha on it with the Stat 201. So, and then he said like we could use it. So, because once again, you can't really fly drones over campus. So I'm wondering what, like, I don't know if he got the permissions, but he already made the video. So that video existed. And then he said I could use it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the video because it's a good drone shot. And I edited up his video. Like there's some cuts, like jumps between certain areas because he flew it around like downtown and everything too. So I was like, okay, the Sun Sphere is pretty iconic to Knoxville. So that's why you see like the Sun Sphere, because that's like everyone knows that's in the Simpsons episode. And then there was some shots of Neyland Stadium. So I was like, okay, pretty cool drone shots. We're going to edit this into the video. And I'm thankful for him for letting me use it and saying, yeah, because I was like, hey, we're the University of Tennessee, because the hospital helicopter pad, and you have to get permission to fly down. Oh, really? Yeah. And so getting all these permissions right here and everything, rather than me being like, okay, because I actually saw some people doing drone shots at UT, and it looked like they had permissions. And I kind of talked to them a little bit. I was like, hey, how do you do this? And they were like, who are you? And I was like, I teach here. It's funny to me when people are like, why are you talking to us? Because I'm like, I say hello, how are you? You can see my house in that video like super clear. That's so awesome. Hey Anisha, how you doing? It's so crazy. I'm glad people like the video. It's a fun intro video, and that was one of my first attempts at using Adobe Premiere because I couldn't get it done in Camtasia. And I'm learning more Adobe Premiere, getting better with Adobe Premiere, and I want to make even better videos. And I'm watching more and more videos on how to make great coding videos. Not like videos on how to make great coding videos, but I'm trying to like look at what people are doing and be like, okay, how can I make my videos better? And I had some ideas yesterday when I went on a walk and just like, because I was like, man, I haven't walked around in a while. I need to play more Pokemon Go and walk. Just like actually like ambulate, walk, like that's what they would say. I don't know if it's the right words. So let's hop back here. We've had our fun. Let's talk about some statistics right here. So I did something right here. I made a zoom screen zoom in. What do you guys think of this right here when I zoom in on this? It cuts off a little bit of the top, and I can't click it too fast, but that zooms in on it. Do you guys like that better? Here's the zoomed version. Here's the not zoomed. So I can now click to zoom. So if you guys ever want, if I'm not zoomed in, you could say, could you zoom in a little bit? But hopefully that helps a little bit. This is the zoomed in. This is the not zoomed in. Yeah, so I made that. We made it last class, actually, but I've got the ability to zoom now. So it'll keep it, looks good, cool. Once again, please tell me with any of your ideas, like you can be like, this is horrible, Brian, I hate this whole YouTube thing. I mean, I'd hate to scrap the whole YouTube thing, but you know, I want you guys to keep telling me what you think and how we can make this better. You're like, oh, it's hard to see this. Just tell me. Be like, hey, it's hard to see this. Because we want to make all these options right here where you can be like, hey, zoom in a little bit. And I'll be like, okay, we got this. There we zoomed in a bit. And I can always zoom in more, but I'll have to change things. Like I can do different things. Okay. So we see what is going on right here. Because I could always go over to here. And I could really zoom in on it like this. Like here, I could just do it here. And be like, okay, let's look at the code right here. So there's many ways. Let's go back here. Whoa. What's going on right there? Chair looked all weird. Used to the chair being back there. Okay. So we have a few more topics to cover today, and then I'm probably going to do a little bit more of your assignment. I have a meeting today at noon. So, and 320 might be showing up, but please stay for office hours if you want some help. I do try to label what we do during office hours as in like BAS 474. Yes, Hannah, that's what a lot of people have done. Hannah, we're putting Hannah straight to 100 points. A lot of people do that, so they just watch me on the TV. And I think it was Andrew who first started doing that, where he put me to his smart TV just to stream it to his smart TV. And then he would take the notes on his just like notepad and like chat on his phone or something. So you're basically just watching me on your TV. It's the best way, I think, to watch the class is to stream it to a smart TV and then just be like, I'm just going to sit here and this is on the main TV. I really think a lot of people are having a great way of learning with that right there. Dual monitor game. I like that right there. So that's awesome right here. I know it's such a good idea. So if you do have the abilities to do that, exactly. If you do have the ability to do dual screens or stream it to like maybe you've got like a smart TV or you got something like that. Brian on the big screen. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. And I think it might feel more like a class then, because you can't really do that with like Zoom. Sorry, Zoom. But I think it's a lot better. And we should really give that advice to students. Like I might make a video on like how to do this. You can cast Google Chrome to most things. And maybe I'll ask you guys to like make a video like Andrew or someone. If you guys could film a video on your iPhone, I might talk to you about this. Be like, hey students, one of the best ways to watch this class is to just stream it. Like you could like be like, just shoot it. I don't know. And then we could post it and you could say like, and we could post it to the channel as long as you'd want to be on the channel. It's like whatever you guys want. Like, I'm not saying you have to do this. You wouldn't get anything extra. It's a curse though. Once you have 2 monitors, you can never go back. I know I'm using 2 monitors right now. And it's like, I've got my screen over here where I do my work and the screen over here where I'm looking at it. And it really is, because it really helps. You can do this scroll between screens. You can see I'm moving between my screens. Okay. You're all right. And then I actually use 3 monitors sometimes, which I don't know, might be doing that in the new studio. Cause then you can be like, oh, this is the work screen. This is the broadcast screen. Oh, it's literally like having 3 computers. It's so awesome. So we have what's going on right here, but we've got a few more things to cover today. Let's go back. Really that far back? That far back. Let's go all the way back here and learn about a while loop. So my favorite example of a while loop is the Vegas while loop, but we have to know how a while loop works. And so this is where everything gets a little bit more difficult. So when it comes to a while loop right here, that's awesome, Andrew. When it comes to a while loop is just like a for loop. So a while loop is just like a for loop. And what I mean by that is the while loop, and so it's like a loop right here, like a circle right here, it makes a circle. And so the while loop is going to run in a circle while a condition is true. So you got this circle, and the while loop is going to run continuously while the condition is true. Does everyone understand that? The while loop runs continuously while the logical condition is true. I can't repeat this enough, that the while loop runs continuously while the condition is true, which leads to my favorite while loop, which I may have already done for the class. My favorite while loop of all time. We did a speed run for the other class, so I changed the screen size. Oh, this is the zoom in. No, we got to move the zoom. Well, that's going to be interesting. Oh, I have an idea. I'm going to make some changes over the weekend here to fix this. So, my favorite while loop of all time. What is it, Brian? So, my favorite while loop of all time is going to be when we go here and we write while and we say 2 equals 2. Now, you should know something about that. Print. Don't do it. Don't run this. What will this code do? Think about what I said about while loops. How do while loops run? How do while loops run? And so what's this one going to do? Brian, stop. You know what we could do? Let's do this. Let's go here to paste. Well, let's go in here. Store into vector position I. Store into this. Let's see how fast this computer is. And then let's go here and go to I is I plus 1. And I starts out as 1. And X is a blank vector. Please note, you should know instantaneously. Click the stop button. Alan, you get 20 points right there. Sorry, don't break your computer. I'm sorry. So Vidrana, you get right there. Runs continuously while condition is true. So yep. So there we go. Let's do this while right here. Let's see how long this takes. And let's see. We've created everything. And oh, it is okay. We haven't run it yet. Okay, wait. Let's stop it. Okay. How big is X? Large character vector. Okay, seriously, how long did I run that for? Someone should like time that. Did you see how quickly I ran that? How many elements did that store? I wanted to see like how awesome this computer is. Like how many elements did that store? How many elements did that store? Can you see it? It created this. It should say the size, I think, too. They made a 50 meg file in like a second. In a second. Like, it might have been like a second and a half. Yeah, I could. So let's do it. Here, let's do it. So let's go systime. Yep, one of my favorite functions right here, systime. And let's go to start and systime. So then we want to do systime time minus start. Ooh, what did I do? Okay, so we're going to clear the global environment. We're going to go here, and then we're going to run this, and then we're going to stop it, and then we're going to run this. Okay, so that was about 3 seconds. It took me a moment to scroll down, so I was right at 3 seconds right there. I ran it for 3 seconds, and that's what it created in 3 seconds. So in 3 seconds, it made a 60 meg file. That's chewing up 20 megs a second about. So 20 megs a second is being allocated. It's writing 20 megs worth of data a second. It's ridiculous. That means every point, it's writing a meg every this is like 1 meg being written. So it's writing a megabyte of data every 20th of a second. That's ridiculous. So yeah, it's not a petaflop. I mean, petaflop that'd be insane. Like petaflops are nuts. I guess not even a teraflop, but still, it's quickly allocating. And there's faster programming languages than this, but watch out. I'm going to block comment to this out. Don't run this. We'll post that later, but I'm block commenting. That was Control-Shift-C to block comment. So Control-Shift-C block comment. Student taught me that last semester. So that right there. The Venom Cure just turned on. Alan, no. Alan, I'm putting another 20 points. Alan, I'm so sorry. Be careful with these while loops. You can do some crazy stuff. So we don't want the condition to always be true. The whole point of a while loop is a while loop breaks. So let's think theoretically about this one right here. I'm going to go back to the zoom in on it. So with this right here, with this while loop we're about to see. So here we go with a while loop right here. We're going to bet some money, and the while loop stops when? When does the while loop stop? When does the while loop stop? I wish I could do it right there. When does the while loop stop? When does the while loop stop? Now, there's no while loop yet, but we'll see it on the next page. When does it stop? Well, it stops around 600, but like theoretically, Sarah, you're right. Like theoretically, if we're betting money, theoretically, when does it stop? Like if we're betting money, when does our while loop stop? Like just don't even think about code. Just think about if we're betting money. So let's go 100 points. First person who says the theoretical reason we would stop with betting money if we have a while loop. And the answer is here. Jordan, 100 points right there. Exactly. So Vidrana, there you go right there. So when we lose money, when we're out of money, right there. Great job. So, Vidrana, there we go. And so 4 people arrive to a party wearing unique hats. Oh, this one's not as fun. And then Drunken Sailor. Oh, this is my favorite example. Yes, I practiced. And I just have to make sure in the brain. So it's just, yes. So, yes. Thank you. Appreciate that because that helps me know. And so with this right here, wait, Madeline might be saying that too. Vidrana. Okay, cool. I'm done. It makes me proud. Thank you. That makes my day, actually. So we're going to go right here. And let's do this. Let's check out the Drunken Sailor. Drunken Sailor is one of my favorites. So I need to hop. Don't worry. I know. So the Drunken Sailor is such a cool one right here. This is the Drunken Sailor code. Let's take a look at it and see what's going on. Okay. So with the Drunken Sailor, and I think we can zoom in one more time on this. Let's zoom in and let's take a look at the Drunken Sailor code. So what this person is doing is the Drunken Sailor is going to start out in a circle. And his whole goal is to escape the circle. His whole goal is just to escape the circle. That's his whole goal. He got drunk and his friends said, bet you can't get out of this circle. And he was like, I bet I can. So he's going to walk 1 foot in a direction and then he's going to like spin around and then he's going to walk a random 1 foot. And then he's going to spin around and walk a random 1 foot. So he's going to continuously do this like random direction walk. So how long will it take till he's gone 10 feet out of it? Does that make sense? The whole goal, because this is a circle, because we're just trying to go 10 feet outside the circle, which from the center of the circle, he's just trying to escape the circle his friends put him in. They're mean friends. Don't do that to your friends. They're your friends. They shouldn't do that to you. Okay, so when we look at this, we're just getting his location right here, and his location is going to be the distance. Does everyone see how we calculate the location right here as just the distance being calculated? So this is how we can calculate a distance from the circle right here. I don't do this often, but every time this does this, when it calculates, it's just going to calculate like here, the distance it is from here. The location right here is the distance. It's like just, I guess, is that a radius going out of there? Because yeah, radius is like half of it. The diameter is the whole, but like a radius going out from this point out towards the circle. So the radius is how far he is away. Like if we just look at it from this point as though there's a smaller circle, like the radius going out from here. Does that make sense? And finally, he'll reach 10 feet away. So I guess he even went a little further there. So because he might, he's going a foot every time. So the goal is every time this code runs, we will store into here a location. Does that make sense? We're going to store his location and then we'll check his location to see if it's less than 10 feet. So why does the code keep running right here? Because, and you should be thinking about this, because every time it runs the location right here, he is less than 10 feet, 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 less, boom. Code stops. Does everyone see it? Does that make sense that when he gets to right here, he is now more than 10 feet outside the circle? It's like further out from his starting point. Now, it's pretty complicated. This is a while loop with a huge skeleton right here, like biggest skeleton we've seen. And we start off here by choosing the angle he will walk. The angle he will walk is completely what? So all this does is just generate an angle, and that R right there stands for what? It's just completely and utterly what? Random. And you might be wondering, why is it 2 pi? What random uniform does is it generates one random number between 0 and 1. And I really like how much code I've learned over time, because this generates just a random number between 0 and 1. But a unit circle is what? For 20 points, a unit circle has what total, I guess it is, circumference. The circumference of a unit circle is what? Or would that be, well, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't do a lot of geometry, but I do know the answer to this. And the answer is right in front of it. 360 degrees, yep. And then that's related to 2 pi. Yep, 20 points everyone right there saying the answers of 360, 2 pi. That is right. You are correct. So here is pi. And, pi is an object. I should have known that. There's pi. 3.14159. 2. I think it's a 2 after that, but it's rounded. 263, something like that. And so this is going to get the angle right here. So literally, if we run this, this will store an angle. So here's the angle right here. Is that, oh yeah, because it's pi. So we have everything right there. And then we're going to go right here. We're going to get the cosine of the angle. So this is x. So we have an original location right here. And we're going to get right here, because here's where he starts. So you get right here all the location. So x equals 0. So he starts at 0. and we get all this. It's trying to plot these things. Plot has not been called. That's fine. That's fine. And we go right here, and now it can store his new location. So if you notice here, this will store in a new location, so we can see where is he at now. And then we go here, we store in the new Y, and then we see the new Y for him. There's his new X and Y location. And then we get right here, and we update the location right here. So that's the new X coordinate, the new Y coordinate. And then this updates the location with the X and the Y coordinates. So he moved, remember, his first thing to do is to take 1 step away, like 1 foot away. So his first thing is going to move him 1 foot away, and then this is just plotting stuff right here. And then this is tracking his steps. His steps was at 0. We should see steps at 0. We created steps at 0s to start, and then down here, so this is all plotting stuff. We don't need to worry about the plotting. Oh, and then we're overwriting our X and our Y to update his location, and then we add 1 step. And then the code runs again. He chooses a random direction. And then we're going to take right here and update our X and our Y, the angles. We're going to find the new location, which is how far he is away. And that's how far he's away now. He didn't do a good job of getting further out. And then we'll make the plots, and the steps will become what? Do you see it over here? The steps becomes 2. And this is just plot stuff right here. So don't worry. I'm just going to, did I update the X and the Y? Got to make sure I update the X and the Y. And so let's remove the plotting option just for now. So now we choose a new angle. He takes his X and the Y. And we go right here, location. Here's his new location. What did he just do? What did he just do? Are you seeing it? Do you see what he just did? It's not a good day on him. I'm having a fine day. He backtracked. Yep. So if you're following along with what happened right there, we got the example more like this one right here. This is where he kind of like starts to walk out and then like weaves out immediately. He just took a straight line out of the circle. But this one right here is where he kind of gets lost and he goes out a little bit and he goes back in. There's a color grading on this for how long it took. So this one, he kind of went woo and then went right out. And then he did a little spin right here. He's like, wee, I'm gonna do a little, I don't know, what's that called? I don't know what that's called. But we're getting an example more like this right now. I mean, he's only spun around here a little bit. We could see what happens, but this code right here will stop when he's 10 feet away. And so, yeah, do a barrel roll. 20 points right there. I like that. And so this example right here, and then it makes the plot. And actually, Dr. Petrie wants me to help him update a lot of his reg class and a lot of his examples with ggplots. So stay tuned for that. That's something Dr. Petrie and I will be working on. We've had some good talks on that. And we'll look at another example right here. Where's my Vegas example? Oh, it was this one. So I already showed part of the code. Here's my Vegas, not mine. Dr. Petrie made this, but I love it. It's in one of my videos, so I kind of used it. It's mine now. It's not mine. But I think this is a really good example. And I might need to zoom out just a little bit on it. No, we're good. We can see what's going on. I can explain in the comments. Okay. So with this Vegas example, and if you understand these examples, you understand the code. And we're going to work through some of the assignment today. So be following along. We're going to do ifs, else's, if-else's. Then we're going to do the assignment. So stay tuned. Lots of examples today. Lots of understanding what the code is doing. But we're out of Red Bull if you can't hear. Red Bull's gone. I heard a tiny bit. Now Red Bull's gone. It's probably a tiny bit left. Okay. So what do we have right here in this example? We're walking into Vegas with how much money? So how much money did we go to Vegas with? Vegas is back open today. I think I saw that. I always look at the morning news. That's sad. That's what my life is. I wake up every morning and I say, what's going on in the world today? And I saw Vegas is back open. I have never been to Vegas, and I love to gamble. I shouldn't say love to gamble. I enjoy games of chance. Like I enjoy poker, which is a game of skill and chance. I'd say that I enjoy skill and chance games. Like card games, a lot of fun. Card games, a lot of fun. Like there's card game Hand and Foot. That's a fun game. Golf's a fun game. Slapjack, I am so bad at. I don't know if it's because I'm old or something. But man, I just can't win. I don't know if I've ever won against Chelsea in that. If I have, it's just because I got lucky. But 5-card draw or 7-card stud, Omaha high low. Omaha high low where there's 2 pots. In Omaha, you have to play 2 cards in your hand and 3 cards on the board. So it's not like Texas where you can play like 1 card in your hand and 4 cards on the board, or you could just play the board like if a straight flush hits the board, you can feel like everything's split. In Omaha High-Low, you have to play 2 cards from your 4-card hand. So I like some Omaha High-Low. Maybe I like it due to the complexity of it, because then people get super confused and you're like, oh, you didn't win because you have to play your 2 cards. And they were like, what? And you're like, you shouldn't have bet. Sorry, it's a game. I know the rules. Sorry, I sound mean now, but I've only been playing hand and foot for so long. Oh, it's such a good game. Chelsea introduced it to me. Blackjack is my favorite. Blackjack's good. Red 18 on roulette. Well, there you go. That's the one to bet on, apparently. It's the one to bet on. So winner chicken dinner, classic. So number of bets right here. We're initializing this at 0. You might say, why don't we initialize a blank vector? You'd initialize a blank vector when you're making an object where nothing uno's classic. You're initializing a blank vector when you have nothing to store into it. Like if you just want like a space, but right now, think about this. We're saying we're going to Vegas and we've made 0 bets. It might work to make a blank vector too, but it makes more sense that the number, like 21's good. The number of bets we've made when we go to Vegas is 0. I guess if it's an integer value, maybe just do integer 0. That would make a blank integer vector. So there's lots of ways, but as long as we got it stored here, we're good. And everyone here loves gambling. Brian does not endorse gambling. Gamble at your own risk. I personally think, it's personal opinions with Brian. One of the worst things to do is the lottery, personal opinion. If you want to for fun, do it. But once again, lottery is set up so people don't win. That's why I think I like games of skill and chance. And any money you bet, you should be willing to lose. So only bet or play with money that you are willing to lose, and be very careful. It can be an addictive thing. Personal opinions with Brian. And just realize that there are people who say they have skill who end up losing a lot of money. So, and actually we might have a way to do betting on questions. And I might check that out during office hours. Stay tuned for office hours later. I might try some new features to Streamlabs where you guys might be able to bet. It's just with Streamlabs is set up more for Twitch, and they don't enable everything on YouTube. You guys are cracking me up in the chat. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We've gone to Vegas, and we've decided our condition to continue betting is what? Can anyone explain to me we will continue betting in Vegas as long as what? Just explain it in words. Money is a vector of our bankroll. Like, we're going to keep appending on to our bankroll. Not if we win. Close. Andrew, 20 points right there. Close. We have $1. If we have $1, we're going to bet it. While we have $1. At least $1. While we have, be careful. So to be very specific, Casey, I'm putting to 100 points, and Yaoshi, 100 points also. Very specific right here. It's not just that we have more than $1. It's not that we have $1. It's that we have at least $1. So apparently we're playing like a dollar game, and we're like, if I got $1, I'm spending that dollar. I mean, if you went to Vegas with set amount of money and you're like, I've got $10 to bet in Vegas, I'm going to do this right here. So excellent answers right there. Understand what's going on. And why is it minimum of money? Because money we're going to append to. We can see that down here. I'll go through the code in order. But money is a vector that will be the original value of money vector. So it's going to append to it on 10. Like the first time this runs, it'll take money, which is 10, and it'll append to it the tail of money right here, which is the last value. This is what we currently have plus whatever just happened. More on that in a moment. Let's go here to the start of this. The first thing we do inside this loop is, because it's a while loop, is we take our number of bets and we just increase it by what? Just this starts because we start out with 0 bets. So that just takes our start of our bet and increases it by what? I mean, it's just obviously just say, okay, we had 0 bets. We go to the table, we make a bet, and now we've increased our number of bets by 1. That's it. Does that make perfect sense? It's just storing into what number of bets is and increasing it by 1. So every time we run this loop, it's going to keep track of how many bets we've made. That's all this does. Keeps track of your bets, just saying each time you run it, boom. Now, this is the complicated code right here where people get lost. But let's break it down into parts. Okay, let's do this. Let's grab it, and let's just talk about it outside of this. This right here is what we sample. So this right here is what we sample. This is how many. And these are the probabilities. So I spell probabilities? Maybe. So this is what we sample right here in the first part. This is how many. And these are the probabilities. So let's break it down. We are sampling 1 or -1. That's what we are sampling. We're sampling 1 or -1. Now, what do you think that means for like what we're sampling right here? We're going to sample this and store it into it. Like these are the only two values that can come out of this. We are sampling from 1 or -1. So why are we sampling 1 or -1? Because what does that represent? Win or lose, Jinning, 20 points right there. Great job. Yep, this is win or lose. So we're sampling whether or not we win or we lose. Gain or lose $1. Casey, 20 points. I like the way you said it right there. That is gaining or losing $1 because we'll use that down here as the result. Like the result will be added to this. And if the result is the -1, we'll lose $1. And if the result is the +1, we'll gain $1. Why are we sampling 1? Because we're just doing one bet. So why is the sample size equal to 1? And technically, I mean, it's easier to read if you say size equal to 1, but that's how many we're taking. The probs right here, now the thing is you don't have to do this with this. You could go right here and you could say, so we have to make sure we lose a little bit more. Let's go 55 and let's go 45. You could just put in the decimals. And I think that makes it a little easier to understand that we're saying 55% probability of losing, 45% probability of winning. 55% probability of losing and 45% probability of winning. Let's go to Vegas. Let's play some games. And there, pulled down on my headphones, rip them out of my head. So there we go right there. And let me save this because we did something yesterday and I'm going to use it. So let's go here to BAS. And remember, all these files are posted. I post them as soon as I can after class a lot of times. We don't want this. I'll comment it out. Can I win? No. Go here. Block comment. I think it was Connor who taught me that. So yeah, Andrew, I think Connor taught me the block comment, or it was other Andrew. But seriously, students tell me things. They're like, oh, block comment is Control-Shift-C, which you can highlight a bunch of code. And so you could highlight whatever you want and block comment it out. So it instantly comments. It's such a good trick to comment out a whole bunch of code you don't want. That's Control-Shift-C, which I think I put up here in a note. Is Control-Shift-C is block comment. It would be Command-Shift-C on a Mac, but it's a quick way to just highlight code you don't want, comment it out. Instead of going in front of it, you can just literally highlight as much code as you want and block comment it like that, and then you've just commented out a block of code. So that's what block comment does. Really cool. I am always trying to add more tricks that I have. Please ask if you see me do something. You're like, how'd you do that, Brian? I do a lot of tricks. So we're going to go here to our June 4th. Did I write July? Good, I didn't. Where is that? Oh no. We did it in the assignment. Do I still have the assignment open? Basic for loops. No, did I close it? That's going to be a bummer. Well, that's a bummer. Now let's go to downloads. Let's see if I got it. I don't think I saved it. Wait. Sure. I don't know what that just did. Okay. Looks like it's... Wait. No. Okay. Well, now I'm sad. Okay. Let's go back to here. So what I wanted to do is I want to show a Plotly object, and give me 2 seconds. I think I can make it super quick. Let me go find it. Scatter plots in Plotly. Cool. We can make this super quick. So much spam. And here, let me know, time series plot. The more you come up with organically and figure out yourself, the better you get at it. And here we go right here. This is the same one we used yesterday. We'll have this done in half a second. So let's hop into here. How's chat doing today? How you guys doing? Let's put a little music in the background right here. Let's put some punch out going on. Can Brian do it by the end of the punch out song? Probably not, because I just started it. Okay. So here we are with our series, and we've got our vector. We got our money. So we want to go length of money. And there's the length of the money. We need a little Mega Man right here. You're doing pretty good. I like that right there. And then we want this to just be this. And then the Y value is going to be our money. And then we got Plotly. And I think we did it. I think we've done it. Show me the graphic. What's this? Steps taken? Wait a minute. That's not the thing. What? Oh, it's saying an error occurred. What is going on? One value is being recycled. X is test. Let me clear out the goal environment. There's our money. Okay, wait. We had it. We had it. Let's remove out all that. Let's go here to the start of this. Let's go to money. Number of bets. While. Plotly. We don't need this bit of code right here. We need... This starts at how money... There we go. X. Money. This. Figure. Up. I think we did it. There we go. We've done it. We only lasted 30 bets? That is so sad. You know what we could do? We could make a much longer series right here. If we change the values of this such that we have here 52 and 48. Now let's reinitialize this and run our bets here. So this should take us a lot longer. Let's do it. This is a much better Vegas right here. Yes. And I really like this. Once again, it's really cool to see what we have going on right here, that we have this simulation. You know, we got as high as like, oh, it says days. Don't worry. This is from, we could change this and we could say money in our bank, or money we have. So we can run this right here, rerun the graphic, because we just took their graphic to use what they were doing. So now when we hover over this, it'll say like money we have 97. Oh, wait. So that's bets made. So we go here and we say bets made. And then we do one more thing right here. And let's say, because we're doing money, that's the Y value. And we're doing TM. So we should be able to take, I think we can just take Y as like, let's do this. \n. And then we go here and go Y and we say money we have. Okay, let's try this last thing right here and see if it works. And did it work? Yep, there we go. So this is what we want to do for an informative graphic. I can do way more to this, but if you look at this, we've made, wow, man, everything went really bad after like 100 bets. This was a good trip to Vegas. And just think about how, with a little bit of work, we were able to see right here, we've made, you know, like 40 bets and we have $13. We could say like money in our pocket, $13 in our pocket. We could just change what the text says. If you notice, I'm easily able to change what this text says and we can look at the different values. So this right here, who thinks like making graphics like this would be helpful, especially if you could put this on a web page, which you can do. You can just instantaneously knit this to an HTML and just upload the HTML code. It's done. This is ready to go on a web page. You could take a screenshot of this. It's got the screenshot button right here. You can download it as a PNG. So you could put this as a screenshot. Now, it won't have the hover over abilities, and we might add more, like we might relabel our X and our Y. But this is the goal right here, to make good-looking graphics. And so a lot of people have asked me, like, how do we make better graphics? So that's why I want to include things like this in your notes. So if you are interested in this stuff, this is good for people who don't really know how to read graphing data. This is, yeah, a simple graphic. Exactly. And so we could label right here. It should just be fig right into fig. And then we're going to go here and do this. And we're going to pipe it through layout and do title equals Vegas Adventure. And now we run this. And so now we've got Vegas Adventure at the top of it. So if you look, just knowing the little bits of things right there, and the reason the title is more than just writing title is because I can change the font, I could change how it's centered, I can change anything I want and make it, you know, a very specific thing. I can change the X and the Y. That's takes a little bit more work to change the X and the Y, but there's a lot you can do with this, and it's in some of my videos, and it's in here for the code. But I wrote another line of code to change the layout, and that's a piping option. More on that maybe in another class. But this is the while loop right here. So we've seen a lot of examples of our while loop. And what does a while loop do? A while loop is a loop that runs as long as a condition is what? A while loop is a loop that runs as long as that condition. When does a while loop run? True, exactly. So a while loop will run endlessly. Let's go back to where it says that. A while loop will run endlessly as long as the condition inside of here is true. Now, here's a big thing. A while loop must take a singular condition. A while loop must take a singular condition. So please note that. A while loop must take a singular condition. It can't take a vector. A while loop only evaluates a singular true or false. So whatever inside of here must return at all times either true or false, but it can't return like true, 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 false, false. It can't return a vector. A while loop only takes a singular true or false. So when you look at our code from before, I think I make smaller screen, decrease font size. When you look at our code from before up here, it's just going to evaluate the minimum of our money vector. Yep. And so this is literally, when you look at this should evaluate to false right here. So let's make it so it looks on the screen there. This evaluates to false right here because this is the zoom, I guess. Sorry, it's so weird with I had to remove the zoom in. I'll work on it over the weekend. I'll make it so it's more fluid. Sorry, guys. I wanted the screen to be bigger, and that makes it a little less fluid when I do stuff like that. I'll have to remember the zoom can't do that. But I do have an idea, which I'll do over the weekend to try to make this better. So this right here evaluates the minimum of people's money. And then if the minimum of money is not greater than or equal to 1, greater than or equal to 1, it returns false. And that's because we have no money. So if you look at the min of the money vector, it's going to be 0 because we ran and stopped giving me errors. I know the graphic screen is small. But right here, we see the minimum of money is equal to 0, and that is not greater than or equal to 1. So the loop can't run because we've ran out of money. Caroline, 20 points. Amazing answers on this Friday, keeping it strong. So the last thing we have to do today is if, else, and if else. So these are all in the notes, but I'm going to do examples on the main screen right here to do if, else, and if else. So get ready to take notes on if, else, and if else. Let's do it. Okay, so we need to know how if, else, and if else works. We're going to start off here learning about if. Okay. So learning about if. The way if works is 1. If takes a singular logical condition. If is a function. If is a function that takes a singular logic condition. So the thing that goes inside of an if must return what or what? 20 points each thing. You can only tell me one of them. It must return a what or what. Who's going to get them first? If can only return a what or if can only have inside of it a what or what. True, Caroline right there, and Sarah. Who else? True is one of the things it can return. Or false, Madeline and Vidrina right there, and Andrew and Sarah and Alan. Great job. Good stuff. Great work. If is a function. Now, when we see right here in Casey and Adam, exactly. And so we see right here, it's mad at me because I haven't written everything yet. And this is a function, so it takes a parentheses. And let's put right here 2. It will run code. It will run code. So it will run code inside of it. And so with this right here, it will run code, so we need to do the following. This. So this is where the code goes. This is where the code goes. This is where the logical condition goes, or logical check. It's not really condition, it's a logical check. So this is where the logical check goes right here. This is where the code goes. Very important that we know this. So when we run this, we say, and let's put a 3 here. Code runs when logical check is true. So we'll put that right there. So the code will run when the logical check is true. So if this logical check returns a true, and let's put singular, because I've had this problem many times where I have a vector of trues and falses. More on that later. But if we return a true, the code will run. If you return a vector, the code will get mad at you. We can break this right here by going to a vector of true, comma, true. And then we could say run the code for, that's parentheses, sure, 33. And it says only the first element was used. So it actually ran it, but it gave a warning. It only used the first. There's a different way to run this, but you want to run only a singular true or false. You want to only run right here a singular true or false. And so it gave a warning. I don't know if they've changed that, but I remember it having issues. Don't do a vector of trues and falses. That's not what we use this for. Maybe they made it so it evaluated. It's raining. Evaluated the first object. So there's always changes. We've seen changes to R. So we see right here, this runs. That's one of the easiest things to run. How about if we go right here, what will happen when I run this code? When I run this code right here, what happens? When I run this code right here, what happens? When I run this code right here, what happens? What is going to happen? What in the world? Nothing. 20 points join right there. Nothing. Exactly, Sarah. Exactly. Great job. Nothing at all. And now, here we need to learn a new thing. We've already done if. Who thinks they understand? How is this different than while loop? While loop doesn't have to be singular. So this won't loop. So great question there, Caroline. This is not a loop. So this won't run it multiple times. A while loop is like a for loop. And watch the steps here. For loop runs code continuously as many times as there are elements in a vector. Like when we look at the variable, it'll run it endlessly through the vector. So it'll keep changing what the variable is through the vector. And then we go to a while loop. Yep, Jordan, it's good practice. And then when we go to a while loop will run a for loop while a condition is true. So a while loop is a for loop that runs while a condition is true. So how many times does a while loop run? It runs as long as the condition is true. So it's a little hard to maybe isolate how long it runs. I mean, you maybe can look at it and be like, oh, this is going to run 10 times because it's going to subtract this every time. But the while loop is a for loop that runs while a condition is true. How many times does an if usually run? How many times, if an if runs, that's a real sentence. If the if function runs, toss 20 points right there, you're right. If the if function runs, it runs one time. It's not a loop. So no, great questions, because this is the things we need to ask and think about. How does this differ from a while loop? While loops use conditions. Well, a while loop runs the code conditionally given a condition is true. The if function only runs code once if the condition is true. And the if function, like a while loop might not run. If the while loop starts out false, the while loop won't run. But the if function either runs or does not run. And then we have else. Must be connected to an if. 2. Only runs when the if evaluates to false. 3. Is not required. I think it's good. I think it's everything. I might think of something else. So these are the 3 big things you should know about it. I mean, I could do trues and falses. This would be really great. Like, which of these statements are true about, the if? Which of these statements are false? Like, these are really great, like, test questions. I keep saying that. Like, it's like, I want you guys to just write the test. I mean, test is, I think, we're looking at like Tuesday or Wednesday, not next week, but the following week. So we are about a week and a half out from the test. So middle of not next week, but the following week is the midterm in the class. So when you're thinking about questions right here, this is a great set of like, these could be trues and falses. Like, does an if need to be connected to an else? Like, what would this be? This would be true. Only runs when, if the if evaluates. Thank you, spell check. So good to have your spell check. Only runs when it evaluates, only runs when the if evaluates to false. Yep. Good grammar, Brian. And is not required. All of these things are true statements. You don't have to have an else. You saw it up here. We didn't have to have an else. So let's put some else's on these. Let's go else, and we've connected it. And here's put another thing. So it's not really a function. Well, no, it's a function, but it doesn't take any inputs. Runs code inside the... So else is a function. You don't have spell check? You might need to update RStudio. It might be the most recent RStudio, I think. So check your RStudio version. Go here to About RStudio, if I could click on it. Ahmed, great job right there. And if you have 1.3.9 because they literally, I think, just updated this. Because this semester I was like, whoa, we got spell check. And not like this spring semester, but this summer semester. And I just updated mine. I think it's in this latest version. Like, it's middle mist red. I have no idea what that even means. And maybe it's just for Windows, but I have no idea. I should look on my Mac. But yeah. What happens if your if is false? Good question. This if right here, 20 points, Sarah. Keep those questions coming. Line 57 does what again? And then we just ran it right here. Line 57 does what? It will not evaluate this code. So this code right here is just printing 33. So it will not run this code. But let's look at some other code right here. Okay, you ready? So with this code right here, the if is a function. If else, we'll do that in a second, Scott, you got it. So if is a function. Does everyone see how if is a function? Because, and I can remove this around this. If is a function that takes a singular true or false and will run the code if it is true. It'll not run the code if it is false. Notice how these are code brackets. I'll put them in the chat so you can see. Maybe just so everyone can see clearly. These are code brackets right here. Code brackets. These are code brackets. These are positions. We have to know these pretty quickly. To be like, those are positions. These are for functions. I might even literally put this on the test. I think about all the things I can quiz you that we repeat a lot, that if you're in class and you know it, do you guys want me to put those on the test? Like, I'll be like, which one is this for? Is this for positions, functions, or for running code? And I could just put square brackets, squiggly brackets, or parentheses. And the question could be like, yeah, that sounds, I mean, you'd be like, got that. How about no test? So I want to put as many questions that if you're in class and as things are repeating, you'll hear it. So remember, you come to class, we try to come up with these test questions in class. The more it looks like what you learn in class, the better the test is. So if you're in class, if you're watching, you know that parentheses are for functions and that square brackets are for positions and squiggly brackets are for running code inside of it. You're good. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew, you're awesome. So we have right here, if this is true, and does that have a space? Doesn't have space. I don't like spaces. So we have if true. So that's going to be a true right there because it is true. So what will this code on line 66 run? These could be one pointers on the test. What does the code on line 66 do? What will that print when I run it? Boom. There we go. What does the code on line 67 do? It'll run 44. Caroline, 20 points right there. 100 points max today. Caroline, excellent work. And you see it runs the else, but you don't need the else. If you don't have an else, that'll do nothing. Does that make sense right there? Does everyone see how the else is not required? It's just, it doesn't do anything. But you can connect an else to it. So great question right there, Vidrina. So we have right here that the code right here is just doing a logical. You could do something like if, let's say, min of money. Let's do, watch this. If min of money is equal to 0, then we could say paste. We'll do cat paste. One of my favorite ways to do things. Cat paste, you are out of money. So this is using what we previously did here. And so, yep. So does everyone see here, this code right here is going to print like to the screen, you're out of money. So we could go right here and have this inside of our loop right here. And now it should, so that is right here inside of this while loop. And I think this will work. Oh, we got to restart the while loop. Or will that not print to the screen? While loop didn't start, I don't think. Yep. And you know what we could do? Watch this. We can add in another thing right here and do after And then we could put right here and number of bets. And then we go, sorry, it's going to go a little off the screen. After bets. Okay. So now it should do this. Let's print to the screen here. There you go. Look at this. We can now print how many bets it took. Does everyone see right here? It only prints out to the screen. And so we've added to our while loop, we've added an if inside of our while loop here that if the minimum of money is equal to 0, so it's going to check that money vector each time, and it only runs this code. So it's actually running it on the last while loop when we run out of money, and then it's telling us how many bets it took us, like 266, 48, and we can just kind of see how many bets it takes generally. We could make it 790. Wow, we stayed in Vegas a long time there. We almost had 800 bets. But does this make sense right here? So is the else in line 67 equal to true? Where's line 67? Else does not have a value of true or false. Else only has, else only runs code when true is false. Does that make sense? The else, it just runs code. Yep. Jinning, 100 points. Jinning, thank you for your answer right there. Great explanation. Else does not evaluate a condition. Else is connected to an if. Do you see how I've connected it? I think it actually gets mad if you move it. Oh, it still runs. I try to keep them connected. So you have to make sure, and I don't think you can do this. That won't work. See, unexpected else in else. You have to have your else connected to an if. You literally have to have your if, then your else connected to it. Does that make sense to everybody? How would we add a cash out? We either cash out at 1,000 or leave. Oh, cool. So look at this. Oh my gosh. Amazing question, Alan. So what if we say we want to, you have this much money. Okay, wait, cap paste. You have, okay, how much money is it? Max money after, okay. So let's see if this runs. If you, we're missing a parentheses. You have, and it's mad about this. I think that's fixing it because I closed the paste. Okay, so let me see if this runs. Okay, you have 10, and then we need dollars here. Once again, only make small changes. So you see right here, it now says you have $10. Oh, wait. Okay, no, we need tail. We need tail of money. There we go. We need the last element. So you have $0 after 80 bets. Good. I was like, how do we have $10 running out of money? So does everyone see you have $0 after this many bets? Do you see right here? So we don't want the max of money. We want the last value of money. So with that, I'm now going to put a cash out condition. I love that you said this, Alan, because what if we say here, while the min of money is equal to this, or we say, and we could just do the tail of money, while tail money 1, while the last element of money is greater than or equal to 1, or it is, so we need right here, this evaluates to a singular. So we say, while it is this, and it is this, and it is less than or equal to, how much money are we gonna cash out at? How much money? Well, how much money are we gonna cash out at? How much money are we gonna cash out at? So we're gonna say while it is between these values, oof, we will never get to 50. We'll never get to $2,000. You guys are crazy. 20 points each of those answers. We're never getting to those values. I don't think we'll get to 100 either. Here's hints on the screen. Here's hints. 30, getting closer. 25. I'll do 25, but I don't know if we'll ever get to that. 16. We're gonna do 16. So we might eventually get to $16. So here's our cash out that we want to get to $17. Does that make sense? So we'll run the code right here, and we'll see if we ever get to cash out. Oops, did I not show it? What happened? Did I break it? Okay, wait. So now we need to do this. If this right here is... Okay, wait. We could actually... There's an easier way, but I want to put it inside the loop. it's not doing it because we actually cashed out. So the reason it's not doing that is because we're cashing out. Are we really cashing out this many times? Oh, we got to reset it. Okay, now we ran out of money. So now we need to do, let's put another if right here. Watch this. If right here, if tail of money, because we can use the tail rather, for the last position of tail, because that's just going to get our last element. It's already appended onto the money vector. Let's say you have, great job. You went broke. Sorry, that's mean. Then here, this condition needs to be is greater than or equal to 16, because that's when we're cashing out right here, right? So if it's less than or equal, it'll stop. Okay. So now we should get you went broke. And now we go here. We need to run all the code. There we go. Yes. Oh, wait. We did something weird. You have $16 after this many bets. Great job. So if tail of money, we got both. Oh, it did it twice. You have $16 after 190 bets. Why did it do it twice? That's weird to me. If tail of money, it ran the if twice, and I'm totally confused. And it did it. You have $17. Oh, because it... Okay. That's why. It ran it the last 2 times of the loop. So the reason is when the loop ran, it evaluated... That if ran when we had $16, and then the if ran when we had $17. So the if evaluated to true twice. Like, the if only runs 1 time, but since we're looping, it's inside the loop. And so I changed it now so it'll only run when we have $17. So it should say you have $17 after 49 bets. Great job. So that's when we did the cash out option. So there we go. After 69 bets, after 15 bets. Wow. We're actually cashed 7 bets. 7 bets. Here's the what? Seriously? Holy, what? What? The probability of this is insane. The probability of this is seriously that right there. A 1 in 200 chance. Or to be more exact, like 1 in what? 1 in 90? Like 170. Casey, you're right. I know. I was like 7 bets. How... Literally, we won at Vegas in 7 bets. We got just all 7 bets. Like, how could you get to $17 in 7 bets? You just straight up win. Welcome to Vegas. Like, you walk into Vegas and you're just like, see, okay, wait, we got to see. You guys want to sit down at the table again? Let's do it. Let's go to the table right here and try. Okay, we're like, oh, we're going back to the table. What was the probability I'd win on that bet? This is gambler's fallacy. What was the probability I'd win on that? I just won 7 times in a row. What was the probability I'd win on that next bet? We could even write I guess we could write a while. Like, we could write a while loop while, like, there's no -1 in here. Like, we could evaluate the results. Like, we could say, like, while the money is always going up. So 48%, you're right. We lost on our 9th bet. I mean, that would have been so cool if we had won again, but there was a 48% chance. I mean, we already won, so it's gambler's fallacy to say, well, I'm on a winning streak, I'm going to lose. You know, that time, 48%, almost a tail flip. I need to walk away from this table. Okay, good, I'm back. Got a problem. Oh, no. Our graph just went up, down, 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 down. We're going down. House always wins. Oh, we're winning. We're losing. So really cool stuff right there. Who thinks they understand pretty much how the if and the else is working? Who's like, I'm getting it a little bit. Like, I understand that the code inside of here only runs if the if is true. And then we could put an else, but you have to watch out. I wouldn't really want to put else's right here because it would say, like, you're still betting. We'd have to watch out because these I just want to run with 2 ifs because I want it to say this at the end of it or this at the end of this. And this will evaluate if we run out of money, and this will evaluate if we cash out. Like, this right here is the cash out running. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly, Alan. That's the thing. That's what we want you to see. Like, And you got it, Jinning. That's what we're doing next. That is the last thing you are learning today is the if-else. And we do an if-else, not an else-if, but an if-else. And this is, I like doing this kind of stuff right here. I like showing like you can simulate stuff. You can use it to like augment code because coding is so valuable. So learning about, we're going to spell it right in one try. Watch this. We got this. Learning about if-else, not if/else. Okay. So what is an if-else? Now, this one is super important. This one I literally was just using 2 days ago. And I was like, wait a minute, I need to do this. And I was like, wait, it's going to be a lot easier to just write if-else. Like it'll be 10 times easier to write if-else. And so what is an if-else? An if-else is basically a for loop that evaluates a vector. Like I might find some better wording in a moment, but it's basically a for loop that evaluates a vector. So it's going to evaluate evaluates each element with a logical check, runs code for true, runs code for false. So one of the biggest things right here is that you are going to have a vector inside of here, and the vector is a logical vector. So it's going to be something like this right here. Like let's go to the tips data frame. So let me put the library reg class. And with library reg class, we're going to go here to data tips. And data tips is a data frame with tips inside of it. And let's go to tips, and let's go to tip percentage, and boom. So let's try this right here. Let's rename. Let's do what's called discretization. I wonder if that's a real word. I mean, it's a real word, but discretization. And let's hashtag that out. So what we're doing is calling this. Can you actually, wait a minute. Is there a function that does this for us now? I've never tried the discretization function. I have to see that. It's a word. Discretize X. There might be a quick way to do this. I need to look into that. This function implies several. Oh, I'll have to look into that after class. I've never used the discretization function, but it's to discretize. I swear discretization is a word, but discretize. So what is it? There's a function called that. How can there be a discretization function and then discretization? Like, look, that is that word. All I did was hashtag it out. How does it work that then it's like, that's not a word? Sure. That's why I still believe that discretization is a word too. Okay. So with this in mind right here, it means to make something discrete, and we're going to turn these into kind of categories. So what do you think would be a big tipper? What's a big tipper? Like what would be a big tipper right here? Like who's tipping a lot of money? Now this is not money, this is tip percentage. What's a big tip percentage? 20 points. What's a big tip percentage? Who are our big tippers here? Someone's gonna be like 100%. I'll be like, oh, that'd be amazing. Be like 100% on like $1 is like, hey, you got another $1. 25%. 25% is big tipper right here. 30%. Do we have any 30s? I'm gonna go with 25. Look, we got someone over 25 right here. So we're gonna call these big tippers. So watch this. Let's go here to if else, or let's just do this first. Let's go to tip $tip percentage greater than or equal to 25. We have to watch out. We don't want to do this because then these will all evaluate to true unless someone gave us no money. Good. And there we go. So here's our big tippers. Does everyone understand? I have a logical check right here. This is just a logical check over a vector. It checked the whole vector for trues and falses. It told me where the people who tipped more than $25 are. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it inside of my if else. Now, if else, we should see the syntax here in a second, it takes a test, which is a logical vector. This test right here is the logical vector it takes. And the logical vector it takes will run this code if it evaluates to yes, and this code if it evaluates to false. So let's put that down here below just as a hashtag note. And the hashtag note is going to be, this is vector of logical checks. So it has to be a logical check vector. Code runs for yes. Code runs for no. So this is our vector of logical checks here. and the code that runs for yes, and the code that runs for no. What do you think I'll put right here for the code for yes? What do you think I'll put right there for yes? What do you think I'll put for no? Someone tell me what to put right here. So what are we going to put? What are we going to put? Oh, that's position 110. I like that right there. 20 points right there. Thank you so much. I like that. Is that position 110? Man, that person's a big tipper. That's awesome. Good person right there. Casey, I'm gonna give you 100 points. I like that you went beyond and like showed the position and everything. You're like, yes, big tip. I like this. Let's go right here. Excellent job. So Madeline right there, 100 points. You guys are at the 100-point max for today. Like, be here, be working. We've still got 20 minutes of class. We're almost done with the material, but hopefully you're understanding what an if, what an else is, what an if else is, and what a while loop is. Those are your main objectives today, to understand the while loop, the if, the else, and the if else. You got 4 things to know today. 4 things, and we got the notes that'll be posted. And there's the notes for class too also. What should we put for these people right here? What should we put for these people right here? You might be saying, really? And don't worry, we'll talk more about this in a second. What should we put for the false people? Because I don't know if you say I should put that for them. So what should we put for the other people? So if somebody tipped this amount, if they tipped 25% or more, we'll call them a big tipper. What are we going to call the other people? Needs improvement. I feel like we have waiters and waitresses in the chat. Cheap. I'll put cheap right here. Average tipper. So we'll go. I like average tipper. Never served. Never served. Oh, you've never served. I have waited tables. I've waited a lot of tables. I've probably waited like tens of thousands of tables. I don't know. Wait. I worked as a waiter for like 3 or 4 years. Like if you like maybe 4 or 5 years, but if you were to say like in years, like of days I've waited tables. So that's like 1,000 days. 1,000 days. Yeah, I've probably waited 10,000 tables. Right about. Sounds about right. Because if I've waited 3 years, that's 1,000 days. And I'm saying like I've waited 5 years. So if you days I didn't work, probably about 3 years worth of time. And then 1,000 days, 10 tables a day is 10,000 tables. So I've probably waited 10,000 tables. This is crazy to think that. Especially some nights you wait like 20, 30 tables. So I don't know. Like I've waited thousands, maybe tens of thousands. Thousands for sure. We need a lower bracket. Yes, that's exactly what. And is 15% cheap? I'd say maybe. Yeah, it's like, I think a good tip, to me, here's my range. You guys can critique. And I've waited tables. One, I really won't put an upper limit on what I'll tip. I mean, I'm not going to tip you $1 million, but like I've definitely tipped like on $50. I've left at 20. Like I've had amazing service where like, like my fiance and I go out to eat, and then somebody just really like, they're just like, everything's remaining filled. They're like, just doing everything they can. And it's a good service. It's not like they're like, hey, can I do for this for you? It's a very like, you're like, wow, this person really, it was because of them. Part of the night was so awesome. Like at that point, yeah, when you stack plates, someone's done that. I know. Oh no, Jacob, that's so sad. I saw a few places. Like I think Fieldhouse Social's closed. I really was sad. I saw that when I went to Walmart. Not Walmart. Walmart's closed. It was closed before COVID. But yeah, I saw that Fieldhouse is closed. Now I liked Fieldhouse. I don't know if it's closed for good, but I kind of like looked, and I think Fieldhouse. They're open again? Man, I should get like a burger from Fieldhouse. Is Stock and Barrel open? I think I saw Stock and Barrel is open. But sorry to hear that, Jacob. Yeah. Went by there yesterday. Oh man, Fieldhouse has some good burgers. Shout out to Fieldhouse Social, especially since that's a local place. Nothing against big chain places, but you got Babaloo's is permanently closed. That's sad. The Walmart had a 35. That sucks. So we go right here. Average tipper. Watch this. You ready? Stock and Barrel. Yeah, Stock and Barrel is so good. Now I want everyone to notice. What part of the code, so I'm going back to teaching again, what part of the code am I inside of right now? I'm inside of the false statement. This is where it gets tricky. This is the last 15 minutes of class. We're about to do something really complicated here. Brian is inside of the false code. So now I'm nesting an if-else inside of the false code right here. So I'm nesting an if-else here, so that this if-else only runs when somebody's tip is, let's go here, and this will only run if their tip is less than or equal to, and let's go here to 15. Okay. So then what do we need to put right here? So think we're inside of I only want you to look at this right now. I'll need to put that back there in a moment. Just only be looking at this. So only be looking at this. If somebody has a tip less than this, this is what we'll run. If someone has a tip less than 15%, then what should we say here? If someone has a tip less than this, this is what we'll run. And we could have coded it differently, but this is just how I'm coding it for now. Poor tipper, or we could say small tipper. Smaller tipper. Small tipper. Rude person. 20 points. You're cracking me up in the chat, everyone right here. Ordinary people. And it all depends. And especially, we'll go here to medium tipper. And if you notice what I'm doing now, is this is what will run if everything is false. And that should fix it. There we go. So look at that. We've now created. And you know what you could do? Watch this. We could go here for big and store 25 here. And we go here for small. And we go here. And we store these. Then we change this to big. And we go here to small. And guess what? It'll do it. And we could augment these values here. And so you could change these to whatever you want and reevaluate the vector. Why less than or equal to? You could just do less than. You could. It'll just include those values. So now if someone tips $12, they would be a medium tipper. Like if they tip 12%. If they tip exactly 12%, they'd be a medium tipper. So that changes it from 12% or smaller as a medium tipper. That right there. Is there a way to include the percent they tipped along with the identification of what type of tipper they are? Yeah. Watch this. Great question. So if you notice right here, what I can do now is let me just store this as, let's say class. Like we can just, because it's like a class of an object. So we could go here, and you know what we need to do? We need to turn this into a factor. If you want to not nest your code, you could just go here and overwrite class with a factor of class. So now this is going to turn that into a factor. And then you go here to tips, you stored a class, you store a class there. And guess what we've done? The tips data frame now has class at the end of it. And there it is right here, the small tipper. And this is a factor. It's a categorical variable. Now, if you only want to report from the tips somebody's tip percentage, which I think is it lowercase t, tip percentage. I think it has a period right here. Nope. It has a capital T and no period. Tip percentage. That got it? There we go. And then you could go here and report the same class of the individual. Up, and then did not, is it capital? It's capital class. Shouldn't have done that lowercase class. Wait. Oh, haha. Concatenate, not a three-dimensional object. There we go. So now we've reported, and we could call this like a data frame. And then we've done this right here. We've just made a data frame of just somebody's, and we could do this. Here's how you could confirm you've done it. Whoa. Is that real? Is that real life? The person's amazing, unless they got like a loaf of bread or a piece of bread, and they're like, here's 71 cents for my dollar of bread. We'd be like, cool. Thanks for the 71 cents. I mean, it's nice of you. You only bought a thing for $1. But you can see right here, the classification. You can see where it changes over. Remember, I did change it a moment ago so that the medium tipper, I think, was in here somewhere. I think it was like $24 where I changed it over. But yeah, I changed it to 24. So you can literally see the break in the data when we change right here at the 24 mark. So there's a break. Does this make sense right here, Alan? And did that help out? Did that kind of answer your question about how I could store this onto and I could only report these vectors inside the data frame? This is kind of the big things we're going for with your guys' abilities to manipulate data. And please ask me to do as many things as you can think of. The more things you ask me to do, the more practice we get. And the more we say like, well, wait, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Yeah, I love this. I love doing it. It's like, you just got to be like, hey, wait, can you do this? And the better you get at being like, how do you do it? Then you just get better and better and better. Awesome. So, good stuff. We still have 10 minutes, and I am staying for office hours, of course. We've covered the bulk of everything that is in the notes, and that was my goal for today when I was looking at today's lecture. Like every bit of the if and the else, and there's tons of examples here to help you out. Here's the cat paste I constantly use. Cat paste just prints to the screen. I use it for that reason, to print. Here's the if, the whole overview. It's like reading a book, basically. Not bad, but just goes through and how to use the if else's, and the nesting. This is where it gets complicated. I'll take some of this code and I'll show you. But if you notice right here, it's just showing you more examples of nested code. I like to do our own examples from scratch because, you know, you could think about like maybe we're trying to look at students and we're trying to rank students' performance. We'll put this in the notes here just so people can do. You could run this example and see what it gets. It's a multiple nested thing right here giving people their grades. So is that not the grades? There's the grades. So this is just a nested right here, and you could append to this vector. You could append like a 40, a 99, and a 75. And now when we run it, it'll evaluate those grades. So that just quickly goes through here. And you see we do have, there's no D in here. How could we fix this so it's a D? And you know what's better? If you look at this right here, this right here only goes A, B, C, F. So we want to go here. And if you notice this else, we want to go inside of this else, and we want to go down here and go to another if, and we're just going to copy this syntax right here. We're going to take everything here, and we're just going to put it here, and then we're going to put if somebody is greater than or equal to 60, they get a D, not an F, and else they're going to get, we're going to store into grades position this, we're going to store into it an F, and I think we're missing one thing right here. And so now we just need, that's the end all, and I think that's right. Okay, that ended it. Go away, X's. Go away. Go, you leave. All right, okay, this is the else. Now the else needs to end here. That's the problem. That else needs to end there, and that needs to go away, so that should end that one. Go away. That else is end. Oh, we got the if. Oh no, I didn't see it. That should do it. Good, we got it. And so now we should get Fs. I mean Ds. Yep. And now we have the D. The first person got a D, and we were able to fix this. But we still have 8 minutes. We got tons of time because guess what? This whole thing right here, in my mind, is done a lot easier with an if-else. You have to use a for loop right here, and this is the whole reason to use an if-else. Because watch this. You ready? Let's evaluate to see if someone got an A. So someone tell me the logical check I need to write right here with grades or scores. With scores, tell me the thing I need to check. What's up, Josh? Good to see you here, Josh. Thank you for swinging by. What do we have that we need to evaluate with scores to see if someone got an A? Now, you should see it. Now, don't remember, we're going to do it on the vector now with the if-else. We're going to do the same thing we did up here on this example, but with an if-else. Yep, that's it. Jordan, 20 points, Jordan, 100 points, Jordan. You're here at the end, and I like it. Stay till the end. And now, what will we do right here? If somebody got, watch this. If someone got an A, we just do this, and we write A, and we could do this. Not A. Does everyone see how that's that? But is this good enough now? Where am I going to go inside of and start nesting things inside of? I'm going to go inside of the what and have it do something more inside of that. Like, I don't want it to stop. If this is true, I want an A. If it's not true, I want it to do something, but I want it to do like more things. I want it to then make more decisions inside of that. So it's like, if this is true, do this. The false argument. Yep. So what I'm going to do, and this helps nesting it, is I'm going to go here and I'm going to hit enter. So if someone did not get an A, these are the not A's now. I'm going to say if, else, and then I'm going to say if scores are greater than or equal to 80, because it only goes inside of this. Don't worry about doing the betweens, because it only goes inside of this if someone is not an A. Like these are the not A's right here. So now we go here and we go B, and then we say this could be the not A or B. So now we run this, and you see we have the A's and the B's, and there's your not A or B. So these are your not A's or B's, and here's your A's and B's. But now we want to go inside of these people, because these are only these people. This only runs here, and we go to if else. And then you see we're just going to take this same line of code we have right here, this exact same line of code. I'm just going to copy it here inside of it. Oh, not all that, just this. We're going to take just this, put this here, 70, and C. And now everything over here is the people who don't have A, B's, or C's. Enter again. Go right here. We need the if else now because I didn't copy that. And then we put this inside of here. And we go above a 60. And now these people are the D's. And these people are the F's. And we have done it. And then if you want, you could go right here and go factor of it. Factor. And run it all as a factor. And now that's factors right there. So we've done it. And what I would probably do here is I would go to letter grade. And you could go data frame. And you would go to data frame. You would take someone's grade. And then you would take their letter grade. And you could call this, let's call this grade book. And then you look at their grade book. And there you go. Oh, what did I do? I took their grades and letter grades. Scores. There we go. So here we go. And we double check it. We make sure we got it. And that's got it. So would there be multiple false arguments? Yeah. So the false only runs when the if is, man, it looks, yeah, and let me remove this right here so it looks like you can see it flowing through it. It looks easier to see when you notice, like, if somebody scores a 90, they get this. If it's not, we go into this. Well, then if their score was greater than 80, they get this. If it's not, we go into this. So if someone scores greater than 70, they get a C. If it's not, we go into this. If their score was greater than 60, they get this. If all of everything else was false, they'll finally get this. Does that make sense when I read it that way, Sarah? Like, if you see how it kind of flows into it, if someone's score was greater than or equal to 90, they get an A. If it's not, you go into this. If someone's score is greater than or equal to 80, they get this. If it's not, you go into this. If someone's score is greater than or equal to 70, they get this. If it's not, you go into this. If someone's score is greater than or equal to 60, they get a D. And if it's not, they get an F. Because if you're just going deeper, like at that point, they have to have an F because they were not greater than this. They're not. The code will stop if you hit one true. As soon as, like, the first person right here had a, let's change it. First person right here had a 93. And so when this person runs through, it'll actually stop. And so let me reverse time. There we go. Because I think that'll fix that. Hopefully it does. And now the first person right here, when we run this code, good. I was like, it shouldn't have an error now. This first person right here has a 93. So when this person runs through the code, they stop at this if. Like, this person right here, when it enters into the if, will stop right here and be evaluated as an A. And we can see this in the grade book that the first person right here had a 93. So when the if else started running, it would evaluate that person and be like, boom, they're done. And the biggest thing to know about if else is what you're evaluating right here is a vector. So this vector right here is what you're evaluating with an if else, which is a huge note we took, is that when we do if else's, it's basically a for loop that evaluates a vector. So notice that we did this same code right here, but with a for loop. Like, this code right here does the exact same thing. There's the grades right there. And we'll do it as a factor. So when we see it, it's the exact same thing. So we'll put this right here. And so we have that. And I just want you to see that these 4 lines of code, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 lines of code, 5 lines of code right there. We'll even be nice. We'll put that back on that line, and we'll put this over here. So we have here, and these lines of codes look longer than to me. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 6. Okay, it's 5 versus 6, but I think this is longer. I don't like this formatting as much. I like the if else's. So you can compare these. This is the if else way of doing it, and this is the if else way of doing it. Does everyone hear the difference? Say hey in the chat if you're still here. It's at the last minute of class. But this is the if else way of doing it. This is the if else way of doing it. And so if you notice, we had to evaluate each individual person with the if and the else. So when we do the if and the else, this can only take one person each time, which we still should have I in the global environment. It can only, right now it's evaluating the 9th person. Hey, what's up, Kelsey and everybody? Still going strong. If you're here right now, you get 100 points. You get your 100 points max. Thank you so much for being here at the very end. It is the last minute of class. But this if right here can only take one person. And then it goes inside of this elf as it evaluates to false. So we're nesting the ifs and the else's here. If you understand this last example, great job for today. You understand everything you need to know. Who feels like they kind of get it? Like 1 to 10, how well did you get today's lecture? 1 to 10. I feel like today was less material, but it was complicated material. 1 to 10, like 10 being like you super understand it, you know every 10. Man, that's awesome. Good scores. Hopefully don't say any ones. It's all right if you say 1, but good scores on it. I feel like there was a real in tuneness with today. Like, I don't know. Today was just a really good day. Like, and so great job. We should get data camp. Where you at, data camp? Where you at? I emailed you a week and a half ago now. I need to look. Maybe it went to my spam folder. I'll check on data camp today. And Ahmed, I think I'll get back to you. And I think your brother. So if we have a because I think, is that right, Ahmed? Do you know what I'm talking about? I think maybe your brother emailed me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm going mad. But if we do have additional licenses, which they give us for University of Tennessee students, definitely. So if I am correct on that, but I'm more than happy. I want as many students to learn as they can. So that's what we've going on right there. And so good seeing everybody. I love all the positivity. Are there any questions? Do we have any 320 students in here right now? Do we have any 474s with questions on the assignments? Can you explain 2C through G? And officers, can you help me with 3D? Yeah, we got 2C through G, and we got 3D. So is it this one? Is this? Wait, that's the wrong assignment. Where's the assignment? Where is the assignment? I don't know where the assignment's at. 2 seconds. And great job on those points. Everyone's doing an awesome job. I love the positivity. I love our Stat 201, our 320, our 474 community. Are people in the Discord right now? I love that we got a Discord. Thank you, Dennis, if you're watching. You are awesome. Everybody's awesome. Everything is awesome. Is that the song? What? I don't know how to do Discord. I'm a pretty Discord, like, not knowing how to do things type person. Okay, no one's in. I want to go to voice chat and people be in there and be like, what's up? Potential test questions. What? How do you define an empty vector? Let's just call here vector. And I'm answering a question on the Discord right now. Save into it. That's a really good, Alex, great job right there. I want points. Okay, there we go. You get 100, Alex. Okay, Alex gets 100 points right there. Alex has been putting a lot of questions in the potential questions. Let's go over here to the questions, and let's do it. So be checking out the Discord. 320's been using it a good bit. You guys can go on the voice chat in there. You can help each other out. Stay positive, stay awesome. It's, just an online community, which is student run. And so, but just stay awesome because you guys are usually pretty awesome with each other. And I really appreciate that. That's what we're here to do. And, yep, we can do number 4. So let's see. Where is, I think it was 2C through G. 2C through G. Okay. 2C through G. I should have used this. Why didn't I? There we go. Like right there. Include 3 bar plots of the hours of the day, of the days of the week, of the labels, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Okay. So we have this issue with the time element. So when you look at this right here, this is the buy box time. So the buy box time is when people were buying these notebooks. So we have notebooks that are sold and we have a buy box time for them. So let's go here and take a look at, and I have a meeting at noon, so I'll probably leave it at like 11:55. So we're gonna do as much as we can. I'll probably be doing more videos this weekend. I think I'm gonna try to travel to Kingsport this weekend. So fun stuff. Let's go here to buy, $ buy box time. And I do want to make a video at some point talking about Lubridate, and that's like one of the videos I'm considering. Maybe I should try to make that tonight. One of the things with Lubridate is the first thing you want to do is figure out the format of your date. So you have to know the format of this object before you deal with it. And I think it tells you a certain one to view up here. It says view this element. So we go here and we view this element. And this is going to help us. Now, there's a lot going on right here. There's so much output, I'm going to clear the screen and show you it again. This is the date. Now, this is a factor right now. The reason it's reporting all crazy like is because currently this buy box time is being shown as a factor. So here it is. Buy box time is a factor, which it should not be. Buy box should be like a position X or POXXC. It's like a special format of time that we want. So we have to figure out the right function for this. The first job with lubridate is to figure out the right function. What is the right function for this? What function? What function should we use? Any ideas on the function we should use? Zoom in here a little bit. Any ideas on the function we should use for this data? What function should we use for that? How are we going to handle buy box time? Close, close, close. 20 points, office hours points, which can be added on. So how do you know what function is right? Jordan, another 20 points, and Sarah for asking. So we have to look at this, and we have to say, okay, this is the, let's look at it. This is the year. This is the month. This is the day. This is the hour. This is the minute. This is the second. Does that make sense right there? And a lot of people get used to using like year, month, day, but remember this has year, month, day, hour, minute, second. How do we know this is the year? 2018, there's no month or day that. How do we know this is the month? Well, days can go up to 30, 31 days, or 28. Thank you, February. Nothing against February. And that's got 29 sometimes. And so this right here looks to be October 19th, 2018. Does that make sense that we know it's a year, month, day because 19 has to be a day? 19 could be a year, but 2018's already kind of said to us that 2019's the year. Why is it not just year, month, day? Because it's got the extra bit on it. So every time you do lubridate, you must first evaluate the format of your date. So we're going to go here and go year, month, day, hour, minute, second. And then we're going to put buy box time inside of here, and it's worked. And once again, the class for this, it's got like 2 classes. The class for it is position IXCT, position IXT. Those are time elements. That's just so you can see, that's how R sees these. They're a special object. So now we want to go and we want to take this and we want to overwrite to this. So all I'm doing is overwriting it, only run this code one time, but that ensures that the time has been altered. Remember previously it was a factor and it said like certain levels. It's no longer a factor. Now it's a time element. So this is a time element with a year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and that's how it handles this object. So now the question says, include 3 box plots for the days of the week, the months, and the year. Or wait, where's the third one? The hours, the days, the months. So we got hours, days, and months. So here's some very important stuff. We want to first do hours. The function for hours is hours. And then we put our date inside of here, and here's all the hours. That's weird. Is that right? Something seems weird. Oh, that's how many hours? Is it hour? That's right. I was like, something seems weird. So the hours function is obviously not the one we want to use. The hours function is, not going to show me the hours function? The hours function is lubridates, creates a period. Yeah, that's how many hours. This is more like how many hours. This is like what hours it is, and it takes like the hour from that. So this is going to give us the hour right here. Always run what you have to make sure you got what you want. This is the hour of the day that someone bought the item from us. And so what we want to do now is we want to turn this into a table. So we go here. It becomes a table. And now that's a table of the hours. We could sort it. Maybe we will do that. Let's see what happens with the bar plot. And here's the bar plot. No need to sort it. We're good. It sorted it for us. So here's the bar plot right here of the hours. And once again, I'm going to do it because I love doing it. We're going to go over here and go to plotly bar plot. I can get this done in R. I should be able to. Well, it takes the table. There's the table. Sure. We'll just take this code right here. Just so you can see. We'll close this out. I want to see how quickly we can do this. It's like a challenge to me, a speed run real quick right here. So we need the X. We'll just store this table right here. There's the table element. We'll store it as tab. And we'll drop that. And then the X needs to be the names of tab. Names of tab. Oh, wait, that's not sure. Tab. And then the Y needs to be the data values. Name, San Francisco Zoo. Name, sales type bar. And then the vector of data. So we'll go to unname. Unname should work. There we go. And tab. We'll give it one shot. Did we get it? Yep, there it is. Oh, it did it out of order, though. That's what I thought might happen. Sort. Is it ascending or descending? And then, oof, it's doing it way out of order. That's not good. We can't use that. It's way out of order. Well, we'd have to do it in some sort of order. Well, okay. Don't like that. Don't do that. Let me remove that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So the bar plot, for some reason, knows how to do it in the right order. So thank you, base R, for doing it correctly. I could get it fixed up. I could work on that table and get it fixed the way we want it, but it's because the numbers, when it sorts them, yeah, I'm not gonna do it right now. Not gonna do it. Gonna let it be its thing, and then we'll remove this. It was so nice though. It's okay. Let's go back and talk about how to do these other graphics in here. So with the other graphics, you're almost there. So we're so close. If I could grab my code, we're so close to what we want. We want to be able to make a bar plot of the day of the week. So what is the function for the day of the week, or the weekday, or the something day? What is the function for the day of the week? What is the function for the day of the week? Close. I think day gets us day of the year. Let's try day. Here's what day gets us. It gets us, that looks like month day. Looks like day of the month. It looks like, but I thought month day was this. Oh, maybe, was there only 31 days? Y day gets us day of the year. So there's the day of the year something was bought. So here's a bar chart. It's W day. Nice job right there, Jordan. You're right. It's W day. W day stands for weekday. And you see how I'm just changing like the W. But wait a minute. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's another argument. Don't worry, I knew this on purpose. The other argument we need right here, I'll just say it, is label equals true. And now we have it. So now with this label equals true, you know what? Let me Google one thing really fast right here. Because there should be Luberdate Plotly in R. I mean, it's just like you got to combine them. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it'd be cool, but they expect you to know how to use both packages. The last one is month. This is a better format now. Okay, what will I just change here to get this graphic? What will I change in this graphic now? What will I change to make it months and to see a bar chart of the months? Any ideas? What will I change to what? What will I do to make it months? Yep, W day. That'll become month. I think it's just month. And there we go here. And you can see right here, this right here, you might be wondering why this happened. You can figure out why this happened. And this goes to maybe some of the later questions. Why do we have like October through what? Why do we have October through January? Why does the previous plot, we'll put them both on the screen right here. Why does this plot look like this and then this plot look like this? What's this? Why does this plot look like this and then this plot look like this? What's going on here with October, November, December, January? Why? What do you think about the way this data was collected? Like, and why is October got this and why is January got this? Maybe let's go here to buy box time, and maybe this will give us some info right here. If you look at the min and the max of it right here, if we look at the min, maybe that gives us some information about this. Yep. And then look where it started. Look where it started in October. Start October 11th. So that's why October wasn't bad for sales. October might have been better, but we're missing a third of the date of the month. And then January wasn't really bad for sales. We only have like a third of January. So it's not like, oh, sales were bad in January or sales were bad in October. We only have 1/3 of the month for January, and we're missing a third of the month for October, because October we start on the 11th and January we ended on the 11th. Basically, this is 3 months worth of data where this, if you stack that bar into here, that would be the other thing right there. So understanding what's going on with our data right here, 30 minutes till my meeting. But does that make more sense, like with this data investigation right here, how we can view what's going on, we can see the dates, and that's why we can do a summary of the buy box time now to understand what's going on. I don't think it wants you to give the year box plot. If it does, that's how you do it. And you can't put label on year because years are just words. They're 2018, 2019. D, let's do D. The bar plot of the months indicates that not all the months are equally represented, and quite a few months are missing from their data set. We might have missly expected. From what is expected might, I think I'll just answer this, investigate to see what's going on. So this question was just answered. If you're wondering about 2D, we just did that. When doing analytics, it's important to ask whether this data came from where it's collected, rebuilt, source taking information on these web pages. Does it look like the information is gathered every hour, on the hour, every 15 minutes, at random times a day? Continue making bar plots to reveal what's going on right here. Don't include these additional plots in your homework, but do mention what you looked at to determining. So it wants to know, like, were these collected like every 15 minutes? So what do we need to analyze? What should we analyze right here with bar plots to see if these were collected like every 15 minutes? What should we analyze right here with bar plots to see if these were collected like every 15 minutes? So, I mean, I don't know. You could include a bar plot. Just don't include tons of stuff. What? So let's see here. 2E bar plot investigation. So that's just the title of it. Any idea what we should include right here to see like what time frame they're collecting these in? Any ideas? There's my finger. Any ideas what we should include to maybe investigate? Like, is it every 15 minutes? Is it every hour on the hour? Like, what could we investigate with a bar plot to see like how, like, what is their cycle for this? Like, do they collect data? Like, do they scrape the web page every 15 minutes, every 10 minutes? What do you think we should change? Yep. And it should be minutes. I think it's minutes. There it is. So it's minute. And are they doing it every minute? Yeah, they're doing it every minute, it looks like. Could make a table of it. Just the table. We could sort the table in. If you look at this, it's pretty similar. It looks like, let's do second. What? They're really scraping it that well? Yeah, they're really good. I think when doing this, first ask how they do this, review software is taking information on the web pages. Web pages are word. Various times throughout the day, does it look like the information is gathered every hour, on the hour, every 15 minutes, at random times during the day, continue making bar plots? I think there's a pattern. I remember correctly. Let me... there's some sort of like wavy pattern that goes through this, I remember. Let me look at the hour pattern again. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Here's a pattern. We looked at this earlier. So the way they're collecting data looks to be centered around 3 central times of the day. So there is some sort of pattern not related to the minutes or the seconds, but it looks like they start scraping the website early in the morning, afternoon, and later in the evening. So if you notice, a lot of websites will kind of like get mad at you if you take too much info from them. They'll stop you from, because they'll think you're like trying to take down their webpage or something. But the the pattern we notice, I'd say, well, Brian, isn't this a pattern over here? This distribution, stat to 100 points, who knows, is basically a what distribution. This distribution is a what distribution. Something we should know like that, pretty much. Who knows, 100 points, office hours, 100 points bonus. Uniform, Caroline, excellent job. You are totally right. This is uniform. And uniform basically means all things are equally likely. Madeline, 100 points. Thank you, Madeline and Caroline. And so we don't see any real areas of concentration of data right here. Where over here, we do see areas of concentration. We see a concentration around the early morning, concentration around the start of the afternoon, like noon and 1 p.m. And we see a concentration behind me, boop, around right here, around that would be 9 p.m. at night. So it looks to me like they're scraping the data on the web page at these times. They're scraping at like, 9 p.m. at night, 5 p.m. in the morning, and then the algorithm's just running. Like they start it up, and that's when they get most of their times. I don't think it's because of buying habits of individuals. I think it's when they're taking web page data. Write a command that prints out the 10th most commonly observed second. Well, we basically got this. The 10th most commonly observed second. Okay. So let's take the code right here. Let's drop the code down here. Let's go to seconds. Now, if we want to find the most common, it should be second, right? Oh, wait, what happened? Oh, I don't know how to spell second. What happened to my brain? So, and actually, yeah, that won't do it yet. If I want to find the most common, like if I want to put these in an order, hint, the answer's not order, what could I do to put these in some sort of order? What could I do? What could I do to, the answer's not order. That's how you order a data frame. Wait, what? Oh, the camera. Ah. So the camera does end there? Oh, I'll have to fix the camera later. Wait. Okay, I'm about to break everything. Say, just be like, Brian, stop. Is that the... That is me. There's the thing. Okay. Sort, you are right. It is sort with decreasing equals true. And so let's go here to the table now that we've made it. And let's sort the table. I think decreasing equals false at first. You see it's ascending order. So then we want to go inside of here to the sort and go to decreasing equals true with a U. I'd never know how to spell anything. And you could go here and just call this X. It's just calling it something. There we go. That is the, did it say 20th? Got to make sure I write the right thing. The 10th. There we go. Don't do 20th. Don't do that. Someone's going to do that and be like, Brian, you showed me the wrong answer. But that's got it right there. You can see it on the screen. Just knowing how to do that nice and quick. Get some good answers in there. Good stuff. And was it all the way down to G? We did a lot of these now. Yeah, G. Let's do it. And then we'll do new questions here. Got enough time. What would be the command you need to use from the Lubridate in order to convert the following? Oh, we got this. You guys got to help me out here. You know what you can do to check? You can check your answers here. You can go here, insert a chunk. And let's do this. Let's turn this into just a text box. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn these into dates because you can check to make sure you get it right. Do you notice what we're doing? We're just turning these into dates. And then we're going to try to use a Lubridate function on them. I need your guys' help. It actually doesn't have to be concatenated. We're just going to turn these into dates right here, and then we're going to try to run a function on them. So does anyone know, like, the first one, what function we'd run on it? Now, this is where you just have to evaluate and figure out what is going on with that function. So what function would this go inside of right here? I think you're right. Great job right there, Caroline. It's going to be month, day, year, hour, minute. And that works. Just double check. January 12th, 1990. And then at 8, yes. And then right here, probably doesn't matter with space. I don't like spaces. And maybe, you know, grab this right here. Like where it says answer, you might just go here and do that. Like doesn't hurt to just double make sure the grader sees it. Once again, if you feel you're graded unfairly, tell me. I might, I think it's pretty obvious how to do the rest of them. Who feels pretty good on these? Do you feel pretty good on these? Because you can check your work down here. Just, you know, put this inside of a parentheses and run your code. I might not do the rest of these. I think, do you guys feel pretty good on these? Like, I think I can maybe get that this is something here. Like, you just need to evaluate. And then the way to check is if it actually runs. Like, if you put it inside the function and it runs, it's good. So I'm going to leave this here as a check that you can do your own work right here. Check this out and practice. And, but do you guys feel pretty good on these ones? I hope right here you'd feel like, I got this. I can do these ones. So we might have the next one. Is the next one? No, next one, yeah. So I think we're pretty good on those. Yeah, I think once you understand the format, which I want you to kind of look at and get these on your own right here, I think it's like these are just like, oh yeah, that's month. It's like, okay, I got it. And then that's why it's important to know what this structure is. This just converts the vector to the dates. There were some other questions. Let's see if we can get through all of them right here in the office hours. Then we'll have done a lot of the assignment. Where was it? I saw the other ones. Where's the other ones? Where is... People wanted other questions, right? Where's the other questions? Wait. If you have time, could we look at number 4? And then there was another one. If you posted another question, someone wanted another one done other than 2, yada, yada, 3, yada, yada. And question 4, what am I doing? We've got chunk options. Question 4, there we go. Okay, question 4. Where's it start? It's right here. Okay. The rank value column keeps track of products ranks, this through this. Wait, number 578 of this item is an office problems. office products. Currently, as you can verify with class, R is treating rank value as a categorical value, not as a number. Left arrow the contents. Left arrow the contents of rank value column into a vector called ranks. Cool. Go down here. And go here and go ranks. And it's in the by. Is it rank? It's good. And did that do it? Cool. Did it. Got it. Good. Left arrow the contents into value called ranked. Then run head and tail on the left vector of ranks to spot the two ways the missing value is encoded. So head of ranks and tail of ranks. Did it say levels of ranks? Let me look at that, because then we knew that. Then we knew to go tail of the levels of ranks. And let's just take this and bring this inside of here. Okay. There we go. What are the two ways that we've encoded missing values inside of here? What are the two ways that we've encoded missing values? Any ideas on this? The two ways that we've encoded... Oh, in 3D. Yeah, we got time for 3D. Let's do it. We'll do 3D next. What are the two ways that we've encoded missing values inside of here? What are the two ways that we've encoded missing values? There are two ways we've encoded missing values. Any ideas? Any ideas? Oh, stop yawning. We'll store those with the bad. You got it. Let's make bad right here. And what are the bad ways? I've already done one by accident. Yeah, and make sure it's n/a, because that's the name of it right here. It's not, and we'll store NAs. Yes, exactly. We will store NAs. Great job right there. 100 points. Everybody talking right now, because we got it. So we're going to store these as bad levels. And here's where it gets confusing. With these right here, and it just wants us to do this first, right? So rename both those levels to NA, remember no quotes, to delete these levels. Then convert the ranks to a numeric, include the results of the summary. Cool. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to overwrite these levels with NA. So we've got here what's called, how do you interpret lift? Oh, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that here shortly. We'll do 4D, and we might have enough time for a lift. It is in previous videos, but I'll try because I'll leave here at 11:55. So we want to go to levels of ranks. There's the levels. And then we want to go to the positions that are... Can we just do this? Okay, wait. Yeah, we could do levels of ranks contained in bad levels. So let's look what this does right here. This will return trues and falses. And if you notice, we get a true right here at the end, and we get a true all the way back up here at the start. Because this is the one that was blank, it was this, and then this one all the way down here is true because it was the n/a. And I guess I can say, Caroline, lift is the factor increase of the original probability of the missingness of the right-hand side. Lift is the factor increase of the probability of missingness for the right-hand side. For right now it is. We'll be doing lift again later, like next week, but lift is the factor increase for the missingness of the right-hand side. So if you're looking at like quant 7, how does that change quant 6 missing? Like quant 7 changes quant 6 missing in a certain way. It's how much more likely quant 6 is to be missing given quant 7 is missing. Does that make sense, Caroline? It's how much more likely something is to be missing given the information that the other one is missing. And 1 would mean it has the same probability, and higher than 1 would mean it's more likely to be missing, and less than 1 would mean it's less likely to be missing. Does that make sense, Caroline? So it's a factor increase. Like 1 would mean it's got the same probability of being missing, so that doesn't give us like new information. But if it has the factor is higher, that would mean it's more likely to be missing given the other one is missing. It's the factor increase to the probability of missingness of the right-hand side. So you have to look at the right-hand side of the lift. And I can show some graphics here in a little bit if you want. But hopefully that helps. Got it. Good. Awesome. Yeah, it's a tricky concept, and we'll be using it again. This is not the first time, or last. It is the first time, but it's not the last time you'll hear about lift. So all we're going to do is overwrite those positions with NAs. Hopefully I didn't break it. And now we go to levels of ranks. And we look at the levels of ranks, and we see that they're gone. Those positions are gone. So now what do we want to do? Be careful. Don't print that to the screen like I'm doing. If I'm going to knit this, I'm going to clean up my code. I'd hate for someone to email me and say, Brian, I did exactly what you did and I got points off. I'm doing a lot of investigatory work. If I'm going to knit this and submit it, I'm always going to look at what I knit. Oh, it might knit right now. We'll see if it knits. I might get a crash. If it knits, I'm just going to look at it. I'm going to see if this would be acceptable. Excessive output is not acceptable. Let's see if Brian would get hit with it. We might be good. It's a longer assignment. Yeah, it's good. Everything's good so far. I don't see any excessive output. We're looking good. Nothing excessive. It's just a long assignment. I don't see any excessive output. Yep, we're looking good. Yep, and don't worry. Ooh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is the item. Yeah, this is fine. This is the inspect rules. That does print a long output. Don't worry. That just, yeah, it's just the way it is. That just prints long output. Yep, we're good. No excessive output. That's part of the assignment, so no one will get hit with excessive output. It's just you're meant to see all the rules. Now we're going to take ranks, and this is where it gets tricky. Here's where people are going to make a mistake. It wants us to make rank numeric. What is the first thing you think about? We've only got 9 minutes, but what's the first thing you think about when you want to make rank numeric? Like you would immediately think, let's just turn it into a number, right? No. You have to first turn it into, I know, right? That's what you would think. That's what everyone does, but you have to turn it to a character. And there's, oh, what's it? Did it do it? Uh-oh. What did I do? Oh, no, that's good. Those are NAs. Those are actual NAs, I think. Oh, no, those are not. What happened? What is it mad about? Let me do this. Let me do sum NA dot remove equals true. What's it like? Oh, as a character. Yeah, it's fine. It worked. You have to do this right here. It's just that the first values of ranks, there's so many NAs and ranks that NA is a vector that has so many, like we'd have to go pretty far out on ranks to something like, that should be far enough. Wait, stop giving me that do try catch error. That's still that. Really? It said there were values inside of here. Is.NA ranks sum length ranks. Oh, there's like that few. 1,000. It's like the top 1,000 or something. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's investigate this vector. And let's go to table. Okay, good. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. How many NAs there are. That declares it. There's 124,189 NAs. Like, this whole thing is basically NA. That's why we were seeing all that data, and I was getting a little bit confused. Because there's, like, 124,000 NAs. So when we did this right here, and also there's 1,000, so there's 124,000 here. And so when we do this, plus this, we get 1,000, eighth of a million, 125,302. And now we go back up to here, 125,302. And that's that number right there. That confirms that what we've done is correct. Do we need NA in the factor first? When you, oh, yeah. So this right here, you don't need NA. Oh, you're saying like as a level? You don't need NA as a level because it'll allow you to NA out. It'll remove that level. Great question right there, Jenning. You will remove it out. And the reason we have to go to a character first is if we don't go to a character, it will turn these ranks into numbers. So if we do this right here and we look at the ranks now, the ranks are now numbers. Like here's a table of the ranks right here, and you see it was like 99688. So if we make a table of the ranks now, if we do it this wrong way, tables. So now it turned them into the number. It didn't keep the actual number they were. It put them in numeric order, which we talked about a lot before. So you see, here's the first category, the second category, the third. But we don't want that. We have to make sure we do as.character. And so this should all run in order. I don't think I have it out of order. And now if we do a table of ranks, we can see right here, we can do a summary of ranks because it's a factor, and now we'll get the NAs. So here's the mean rank, and here's how many NAs there are. So you have to do this right here. You have to go from a character to a numeric. This will turn the ranks into a word, which you can't see it. There's so many NAs. There's just data is just chocked full of missing data. And then we're turning the word into a number. Does that make sense, Jinning, and everyone watching? That the first thing we're doing is we're turning it into a word, and then we're turning it into a number. If you just turn it into a number, it'll alphabetize them or numeric order them. So you have to watch out because this code right here is not the way to do it. And we put things like this on the midterm because if you mistakenly, if you do this, then you'll put them in numeric order. And we don't want that. We want to turn it into a word and then turn that word into a number. It's just the way it works to switch between, and this is in like my vector data. I think it was 3D. Let's do 3D. I think we got barely enough time. I got to do 3D quickly. Okay, here we go. We got to do the high-low. We got to code high-lows, right? Okay. There are column constraints. The value in low should be less than or equal to the value in high. Violated. Okay, so we got lows and highs. The value in low should be less than or equal to the value in high. Violated in low. The value in price should be, okay. And then use the mean of a logical determining the fraction of rows that violate each constraint. So we want to go here, and we want to go to by, and go to low. And it says should be less than or equal to by, gotta do it like this, $high. And we want to see, here's that. And we go here, and we go here. And one more thing. And a remove. Where you at? And good. This means we have 0 violations. So these are how often is it less than or equal to this. So you could see if it's greater than this, like does it want, that's how many percent of violations we have. So use the mean logical determine the fraction of rows which violate each constraint. So violating the constraint, if it's either less than or equal to or greater than. So does that make sense here, how I figured out the violation? I think that's a really good tip for this one right here. But to figure out if something violates a condition, we'd have to say it does not meet the less than or equal to. It's either less than or equal to, or it's greater than this. So that's got it. Who feels pretty good about this assignment? Who's got a lot of it done? Anyone got a lot of this assignment done? Feeling pretty good? Got a lot of the weekend? Carol might be saying yes to that. Hopefully we've got a lot done. We're really far along with this assignment. As the last drop of coconut Red Bull. Madeline's pretty much done. Great job, Madeline. I think that's got it. I'm going to head off to my meeting. Please email me if you're stuck. Hop on the Discord. Is anyone on that Discord? We will see if anyone's on there. My power just flickered and I was so worried that I lost my code. Oh, no. Yes, our studio's awesome. Could you explain the code right here? In words? Alex, good question. Let's change this. Yeah, Alex, I got you. Alex. You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Make sure this is saved so my power doesn't flicker. Okay, so this says save into the Y. We need a Y created right here. So we have to have an object Y that exists. So now Y exists in the global environment. I created a blank thing for Y. Save into position of Y. So we could say position 1. And this is probably for a for loop because we're going to now save into position 1 the letters that are in N. This is, I believe, how many letters? Oh, no, this is the letters vector. So the first thing, and you could loop this because there's a skeleton right here. So if we were to put this inside of here as a skeleton, we're going to change what is going to be position. So the letters of N. So, because now, we could do, so right here, we could do this. We could make this position, this position. So this, I think this is from the notes. And then vector 1 through 26. And now Y will, when this runs, it's going to change what position is every time it runs. The first time position will be 1, then position will be 2, then position will be 3. And it's going to write into Y the first letter of A. So this is the, in the letters vector, we're going to take position, which is this. It's going to take position 1 first, and store that into Y in position 1. Now, position 1 of the letters vector, we can view the first time it runs, is going to be A, position not found. Oh, because position needs to be, there we go. I think that's right spelled. and double check. All those are spelled the same. And now we do this right here, and we run right here the ledger vector. That's position A, and that'll store into Y. You can now look at Y. Y now has A right there. And so when we run this loop, it's really just going to make Y the letters of the alphabet. So now we can check. I'll delete this off right here. And this is this right here. Y is now the letters of the alphabet, because when it looped around, it changed it so that Y every time takes a different letter of the alphabet. Y takes the first letter and stores it to the first position. Good seeing you, Alex. Great job. And it just keeps looping through. Does that make a little bit more sense there, Alex? Hopefully, oh no, yes, that was Alex right there. So I think maybe that makes sense, and that's got it. It is time for meeting. Hopefully that helped out. Maybe makes sense what this code is doing, especially with a for loop and the square brackets. Yes, Alex, great job, Alex, 100 points. Thank you for showing up and asking that question. I'm going to head off to my meeting. See everybody later. Bye. 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 Have a good weekend. See you, Jacob. See you, Jenny.